Good evening, radio fans, and welcome back to another episode of Davey Max Tales from the Satellite. I'm your host, Bobby Tamburo, and joining me as always is the Heartbreak Kid, #1 star, Eastside Dave McDonald.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening and watching this show. We got to say thank you. We just had a person who is whose name has popped up on Davey Max Tales from the Satellite a few times. Chris Pepper Stanley. He just joined the Davey Max Sports program. If somehow you missed that one, please make sure you go check that out. That was fantastic. Got a lot of insane stuff covered there.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a very, very special, very bizarre, very fun, very exciting, unpredictable episode here today that I'm very excited for. And because it was quite the drunken adventure is all I can say about this one.
Arguably, it was your first drunken adventure as a member of the Ron and Fez team, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't think I had a power hour. Maybe a power hour.
Not yet.
Existed? No. Yeah,
No.
in the time on the timeline there, I'm not sure, but this was very, very early on, and Ron and Fez allowed me to have a few cocktails with a special guest, and we'll get to all of it. But this episode is going to be pumped up, ready to go. I'm very, very excited. Hello, Davey Max Tales from the Satellite fans. Bobby Tamburo, as always. Hello to you. Let's rock and roll, Daddy.
Well, Dave, before we kind of teased it out, let's just tell the people what we're talking about. This is the episode where Anthony Cumia and his girlfriend at the time, Melinda, took you out for drinks before the Ron and Fez show to help you get through a breakup. Is that the best way of summarizing it?
Correct. Yes, that's exactly what happened. This was when we were doing two-a-days, I guess. Yeah, and we were doing two-a-days so that we were doing noon to 3 on Sirius XM satellite radio, and then we were doing 92.3 K-Rock 6 to 9 p.m. the same day. That was quite the schedule, quite the challenge, but we succeeded, I think, very admirably. But this was one where, between the shows, I was allowed to go out to the bar with Anthony.
Which would have been normally a problem, right? Because you have to be on your A game. But
I would have normally not been allowed to go out between shows drinking with Anthony.
Yeah.
Of course, we had to. So it was like noon to 3. Then like maybe we chill out for 15 minutes or an hour, and then immediately have to do show prep for 6 to 9 p.m. It was a lot. Now, we did get 2 contracts. That was the best ever. We got one from Sirius XM and one from 92.3 K-Rock. 2 separate contracts. So that was wonderful. No one's complaining about that. But Jesus Christ. And that's why like I get down on some of these podcasts that only rely on drama. The podcast and radio shows and anybody, YouTubers, it's not just, the podcasting. It's anyone who just, these streamers, for instance, the Jack Dohertys and the bullshits of the world. When you rely 100% on drama, you're not creative. Can you imagine having to fucking do show prep for 2 separate shows that one, a national radio audience is going to hear, and the second one is the New York City #1 audience in America is going to hear? and you have to come up with 2 fucking full-on 3-hour shows for both shows, that takes work, imagination, creativity, someone who can think. That's why these drama podcasts, I fucking am nauseous when everyone, you want to come on my show? No, I'd rather chop my dick off. Come up with some material. Have a bit, a sketch, a game, a character. You fucking lazy, unoriginal TMZ wannabe piece of shit. Come up with a show, bro. That's what we do here. It's what I do on the Davey Mac Sports program. That's what I do on Yaddle Channel. It's what I do everywhere. Everywhere. And I want to say one other thing. I love these people who fucking, you know what? Never mind, Robert. People are pissing me off a little bit today.
Well, that's not
I just got a couple people from the peanut gallery. Like, bullshit. Someone tried to run down my fucking career recently. You know that everything I've touched, I've been number one at. I didn't get thrown out of SiriusXM. I quit. The reason why was because they were paying me $37,000 when I was worth 3 times that much. Yeah, 100%. I wish.
21,000.
I wish someone in that stupid fucking company could have seen the goddamn value. But instead, they only see value in people who lick their assholes. You have to suck up to people in that company in order to fucking have them look at you as a talent. You have to get down on your hands and knees and suck their assholes. So I'm sorry at that. But when I was there, we killed it. When I was on 92.3 for Run Fest, we killed it. I was on 95.9 The Rat in the morning radio. We're number one. Davey Mac Sports Program is an award-winning show. Voted best in iTunes. Sorry to be defensive, but actually, my shows all are fucking great. Don't go by you. Some guy tried to be like 100 YouTube views. I'm a podcaster. These are audio shows. We put them on YouTube because that's what everyone fucking does. But we're not sitting here trying to be a fucking YouTube show like Logan Paul. We're trying to fucking do the best goddamn podcast in the world. And by my resume, I do. Award-winning Davey Mac Sports Program. Fucking this show talked about by everyone. Number one at The Rat. Number one at 923 K-Rock. Number one era of Ron and Fez. Shut your fucking ass. Try to run down me because, oh, look, you got 100 views on YouTube. That's the secondary fucking option, cunts.
And
that's the option. No, I'm serious. These shows are for iTunes people, Spotify people, fucking whatever, Amazon Music, however you listen to your podcasts. You have to put the video up these days because some people also listen via YouTube. They just put on YouTube and they listen that way. So that's how we do it. But you want to come and check in my back end on Libsyn about my fucking podcast views and downloads? You lying, pathetic fucking cunts. Hey, how about this? It's 2025. If you don't like me, that's fine. But get the fuck over yourselves or kill yourselves. Kill yourself. Die. Commit suicide. No, I'm being serious. Commit suicide. Kill yourselves. In 2025, because I pushed Fez's face in the pizza in fucking 18 years ago, and you're still stalking me and fucking trying to make my life a misery. And this is when I need the East Side Divisions to step up. You see anyone fucking with me, I need you to gang the fuck up on them and kill them, expose them, dox them. Not kill them literally. Kill their reputation, dox them, destroy everything that they stand for. I'm sick and tired of people, an entire planet filled with people who have never done a creative thing in their life, who then go and fucking comment on everyone as if they know anything what the fuck they're talking about. You try to do an award-winning podcast, but you can't. You be on the radio in multiple shows getting number one ratings, but you can't do that. I've done it. Fucking cunts. By the way, Anthony apparently has just gotten a big job on radio. So we congratulate Anthony, unlike Opie, who's apparently trying to take shots at Anthony for being on AM radio. Hey, stupid, AM radio in a lot of markets gets bigger ratings than FM. You fucking dishonest jackass. That's where your political stations and your sports stations are on. Plenty of places, AM is actually the bigger deal. You fuck twat moron. Hey, C3POP, get your fucking protocol droid shit reset. You goddamn unfunny pussy. I've never seen someone who is a bigger loser on the planet than Opie. How did anyone be friends with this guy? If you're walking around in 2025 saying, oh, yeah, me and Opie used to be cool. Opie's a talent. Again, jump off a bridge. The guy's the biggest fucking meatball, uncreative douche. And by the way, on his fucking tweets, he's using the catchphrase, I created. On one of his most recent tweets, he used face.
He did.
Twice.
I saw that.
Face. So the guy is so fucking unoriginal, he's ripping me off on his tweets to go against his former radio partner. And you people think this guy isn't a cunt? Opie's been a cunt forever. And let me tell you something else. Everyone knew it. Let's pull back the curtain.
That's what we do here.
Everyone knew it. Ron and Fez knew it. They weren't going to say a bad thing about Opie. But if you're asking me to interpret body energy and vibes, everyone knows that this guy is a douchebag. Cringy, awkward, fucking freaky douche.
You could just see it from they would invite Anthony on the show all the time and never were as excited when Opie decided to pop in. You know what I mean? When Anthony came in, everybody was laid back. Oh, it's going to be easy radio. We're here with Anthony. He's creative. Whatever we're talking about, he'll jump in. When Opie came, he had to be the king of the castle, and you could tell.
Opie
I will say
has never been. Opie hit the lottery ticket and should really be thankful because he hit the lottery ticket. Someone could say, hey, Dave, you got. Everyone gets lucky, I suppose, to get a job in radio, TV, blah, 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 blah. But I worked for my fucking money, of which was $37,000. Opie hit the lottery ticket. I'm about, let's see, conservatively 8 trillion times more talented than he is and has ever been. And yet he made $3 million and I made $37,000. That's fair. Fuck Opie forever. What fucking, he's an old, senile, water-brained cunt who's become his old fucking mother, down to the misery, the psychoticness, and the large breasts.
The irony for me is he became Howard Stern, everything he hated. Everybody's ripping him off. He's the best. Everybody needs to acknowledge it. And for years, he was railing against that. But I think it is cool that Anthony got the AM gig. And yeah, like you said, absolutely 1000% congratulations to him for that. That's a huge thing. And
any
we're all
job
happy.
is good. Any job is good. And I congratulate anyone who gets a job. But it's just, that was funny. I'm reading these posts. I'm like, seeing Opie run down a guy getting a radio gig, and then even running down AM radio, and I'm like, hey, you fucking morons! I've been in radio for 20 years. AM radio does really AM radio oftentimes does better than FM radio.
Yeah,
you fucking idiots.
Especially for politics, nobody listens to FM radio for politics.
Politics and sports are major things that you can talk about every single day. And most of them are found on your AM dial.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I will say, while many people take a shot at your legacy, I think it's incredibly impressive what you've done.
While many? No, not many. I said a few fucking assholes, not many.
While a few assholes may take a shot at your legacy, many people like me will give you the credit you deserve. How's that?
All right, fair enough. Switch that around. You were going to say, while many take a shot, there's a few.
My bad. I didn't mean to jump in and be like, yeah, no, everybody hates you, Dave. But what we're actually talking about today.
I'm tired of fucking like dorky commenters who do this like 100 views. First of all, they're always dishonest. It's like you put up a video and within 30 seconds, the person's like, there's only 10 views on this thing. The fucking video just literally went up. It's a 2-hour fucking goddamn video, you fucking asshole. And then secondly, it's a podcast. It always has been. For most of the Davey Max Sports, for most of my radio career, I didn't have video of any of this shit. Really started with Compound Media. Even phase 1 of Davey Max Sports program, we had some shitty live streaming thing that never worked. Like we didn't really have a video component. So we now have the ability, okay, let's just put the goddamn video up on YouTube so that people can listen. But we're not a YouTube show, dishonest bitches. I hate dishonesty. And I hate people fucking lying through their teeth to make other people feel bad. Why? Because I put Fez's face intentionally in pizza 18 years ago in a worked way where me and Fez were in on it. So was Ron and everyone else on the Ron and Fez show. If you don't believe me, then you are a pathetic, insane asshole. You're the loser. This was a worked scenario. If you're still stalking me 18 years later because of this, you really should be off the planet Earth because you're just too stupid to do anything productive for anyone else. There. I'm done with it. I had to get that off my chest. Now I'm ready to rock.
And one thing we're going to learn about you today is sometimes you just got to blow off some steam when you're frustrated or hurt. And what we were talking about, how much you've accomplished, this is the opposite. This is the beginning before you've done anything, right? Like you're a month or two into being a producer for the Ron and Fez
I
show.
wouldn't even say that. I got the job because I was on 90.5 The Night for 2 years. And I went to Westwood One to write in the news and traffic department, which is how I had to join the Writers Guild. So actually, I had 2 legitimate paying radio gigs before SiriusXM.
Okay, well, my apologies.
But yes, they're not. They weren't something that was going to get me on the map. I guess unless you were living in Monmouth County, because I was on the air on 90.5 The Night, and I did have a small group of people who enjoyed what I did there. But yeah, it was SiriusXM put me on the map, of course.
Absolutely. And it's your introduction to the Ron and Fez audience. You were a fan and a known fan, and then you became a team player, which is something
comedy
a ton of people.
guy, but I was doing that while I was working in radio. Some people still bought our other, we've worked people so many times that they just can't comprehend it. And then they go like, you guys are the greatest actors of all time. Yes, we agree.
Yeah.
Because some people still think I had a hot dog card. And they're like, this guy had he only got a job because he had a hot dog card outside. No, I was working in radio for about, I don't know, fucking 3 years before that, stupid.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you at that hot dog cart. So no, the point I'm making though, is this is your introduction. Your first time on air though, with Ron and Fez was actually what? Do you remember? Like being in studio? In
studio was with Westside Claire, my girlfriend at the time. And we played a dating game. It was
how'd that go?
Not dating game, newlywed game.
The newlywed game, yeah. And how did that go for you and Claire?
Not well.
Not well at all.
We finished in last place. I was unsure of the measurements of bra sizes. I didn't know how bras worked. So I thought that a AA meant a small breast, but that's certainly big enough for a bra. When we were asked the question, what is the size of your significant others? I said AA. Apparently AA is like the smallest size.
It's like the batteries.
So I didn't know that. I thought AA was like what basically I later learned was like a B cup. That's what I was thinking that a AA was. Instead, I didn't say B cup. I said AA, and then they was extremely insulting. And we were also all pretty drunk when that thing went down.
So that was your first time, but people could tell there was a chemistry there, even though you didn't know anything about her and were completely insulting to her. They could tell there was a natural chemistry between you and Claire.
Yeah, she's a nice person. I'm not going to talk smack.
And then, as you become a producer, something occurs. The chef. You guys have a break. There's a chef involved. That becomes the running joke, right? And you guys break up because you keep bringing personal business to the air. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair statement. Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair statement.
Looking back, do you regret being as open as you were? Because that's one of the things people like about you the most.
I regret my entire life. To be based on this, this YouTube comment from today, I should have just done what I wanted to do, which was just teach English in sophomore year of high school and get stoned after class by myself. That's what I was going to do because I'm a phenomenal teacher and I know almost everything about literature. And that was the goal. Robin Williams,
Which
Dead
is
Poet Society. I was gonna give, fucking motivate the kids. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary, boys. That's what I thought of myself. So yeah, I regret that. I regret most.
It's interesting you say that, because most people's dream would be to be on radio while they're stuck being a sophomore English teacher who gets stoned by themselves after. But you're the opposite. You got the dream everybody wanted.
Yeah, I should have wanted. I should have went into teaching. I also enjoyed. I always enjoyed newspapers. I fancied myself maybe I could be in the newspaper business somehow.
Like delivering them.
But I mean, between radio and newspapers, it's like I'm into thing from the 1920s. It's like
you really are.
I'm also into Model Ts. I'm into very gigantic underwear. I'm into riding the trolley.
3-piece suits every day to work.
And I'm a huge Calvin Coolidge fan.
Calvin Coolidge, he's the coolest, Daddy-o. Now, but you do, because like what I said, part of what people love about Ron and Fez, and you even alluded to it with the pizza smash, is nobody knew what was real, what was fake.
Correct.
And you kind of brought
to break kayfabe, but 20 years later, we've repeated, we've told people what happened. Not just me, but Ron too. And it's like, I still got to get the fucking stalker guy, or a few of them, who honestly have stalked me, which is why I have contacts in the New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania police departments, because I've gotten stalkers from all three of those states. So now I have to, after this show, possibly make some phone calls to my detective friends. And they're real, and I have them on speed dial, and we're going to be making some phone calls now.
I'm going to call Mike.
I'd love to bust one of especially the guy in Pennsylvania, who we all know, we can track down that guy. If he goddamn gets a speeding ticket, we're going to push this guy away for 5 years.
Jesus. Davey revenge. I love it.
He's been federally stalking me forever.
I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
But what I was getting at is, so this is a lesson I think that you taught me well when I first joined your crew, which was maybe don't air out all of your personal business on the air, regardless of how entertaining it may be, because you may regret it in the long term. Is that something you kind of come to learn?
For you, yes, because for you, I thought, I don't know, because you started doing the Eastside Dave show with me, Roy Harder, on Compound.
Yes, sir.
And then you immediately wanted to attack Sam Roberts. And I said, very bad idea. Very bad idea. Because I said, you've done absolutely nothing. Even when I was on Sirius XM, I didn't attack Opie. Because
you taught me that lesson.
Believe it or not, I actually had the belief that if I simply do great work, or if I give everything I have every single time I'm on Ron and Fez, Opie and Anthony, Special Delivery, or Davey Mac Sports program, that the people running the channel will notice and maybe give me either compensation or more airtime for it. So believe it or not, I was quite respectful. But you decide to come on the Eastside Dave show and start ripping apart Sam Roberts. I say that's not a great idea.
That's actually not what I was referring to, but that is a true story. What I was getting at is, shortly after I joined the team, I went to Jamaica with that girl. Her apartment burned to the ground and she dumped me and fucked another guy a week later. And I was like, Dave, I got to air this out. And you were like, let's pump the brakes there a bit, Rob. Let's not put all your personal business out there. And I think there are a lot of...
No, I should have went with that. I thought you were talking about the Sam shit.
No, I was talking about the thing that kind of relates to the story we're talking about.
Let's flash forward for all our wonderful listeners. 5-6 years later, someone who Robert knows, was it Aaron Berg? Gets invited to the Sam show.
Oh, yeah.
And
we had a Crib Daddy.
Aaron Berg, comedian, gets invited into the studio. Robert's with him. Berg goes into the studio, and Robert is told by the Sam Roberts and Company show, or whatever, their fucking salmon pals, nope. No Bobby Tamburo is allowed in this fucking studio for the shit that asshole said on the Eastside Dave show 6 years ago. Did that not happen to you?
1,000,000%. We brought Crip Daddy in. He's in a wheelchair, and I'm literally maneuvering him through the whole thing. And there was room for 150 people in that studio.
And I won't blame Sam for that. I would have done the exact same thing to you. I would have been like, wait, that's the little motherfucker who had a whole bunch of shit to say. He wants to come in the studio? Fuck him. Get him the hell out of here.
It worked out the best for me, though, because I was in an empty studio where I smoked a joint, and Sway came out and was like, I smell weed. And then I got to smoke with Sway. So I'll take it. Probably won't get invited back to Sirius XM either, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. You are supposed to be just a normal person who's diplomatic, not supposed to be the producer who you're actually worse than me. Like, you stick your foot in your mouth and you say you do impulsive tweets and things that I say, my God, why? You have to have a little bit of stake, a reputation in the industry. You're on your way up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm learning from you. I'm learning from the best. And, nobody's perfect when they start.
Fuck over your career before it's even began.
No, I think you've taught me to reel that back. Yeah.
No, I'm proud of my career. 20 years. It's been a very adventuresome career. I can honestly say I'm proud of it because I take chances. The one thing that I will say about it is that, look, if I'm not treated well, or if I don't feel like people understand me, or I'm not given the respect, because I give everything I have. I truly give 1,000% to everything. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the same cunt said that, we weren't rehired on Compound Media because we got low views. Wrong! Eastside Dave Show was, according to Garrett and John Serino, second highest show on Compound Media, and sometimes our shows were number one for the week. When we were on our show, we would get the highest ratings of any and most views of any individual show. Don't take my word for it. Garrett and John Serino told us they had the numbers. No, we got released because Eric Nagel didn't know what he was doing, hired all the wrong people, and Compound Media went in the toilet. Not us. Compound Media, according to everyone else, we've gone stagnant. We're not gaining new subscribers. We're losing new subscribers, and we just have to. The fucking company went goddamn broke. So what? It had nothing to do with us. We actually, at the very minimum, only were behind Anthony shows, and sometimes our one show beat any of the 4 Anthony shows, and we were number one for the network. That's a fact. And again, don't take my word for it. Go ask Garrett and John Serino. They're the ones who told me.
And you're there praising Anthony and congratulating him on his new AM gig. Like, if there was truly bad blood there, or he let you go because he didn't like you or something, we wouldn't be doing that. We both got let go from his company and are wishing him nothing but the best.
It had nothing to do with us. It had everything to do with Compound Media was dying because they let a whole bunch of drama casters in there to fucking do whatever they want. No one did show prep. No one bothered to do a show. It's, I'm a comedian. I'm just going to mix it up. And just fucking bullshit and start little fucking dorky pussy ass fights with people. It wasn't, no one wanted to do an actual show except us. We came in with fucking music, sketches, monologues, characters, games. We had a fucking show. Go check it out and tell me whose show wasn't the best overall on Compound. You know it to be true. So it had nothing to do with our viewers and bullshit. Had everything to do with the fucking company died as soon as Eric Nagel was hired. And that is the truth.
But we're not talking about that company.
No.
I agree with you.
I'm just fired up because, if you're going to go online and be so fucking dorky to give conspiracy theories and your little insight about radio shows, understand this. You literally have no idea what you're talking about. You have no access to the data. You have no access to the demographics. You have no access to the numbers. You have no access to behind the scenes information and what's going on within the company, which makes differences. You have no idea about any of that. So when you come on the internet and say stupid shit, then you can be torn apart, and you should be. Okay? Go fuck yourselves if you're a well, this guy isn't good at radio because of these reasons. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, you have the career to back it up. That said, we're talking about before your career blew up, before you were the superstar. You were going through some emotional trauma. So what happened with you and Westside? How did it end? Why did it end? Do you remember all the details?
No, I mean, it was just a breakup. It was just a natural breakup. It was just,
At
I'm
this point,
in New York and she was in Jersey, and at this point I was living in Queens and she was still in the Red Bank area, and it was just two different paths. That's what it was.
at this point in the story, you're still kind of planning to get her back. You're going to go win her over. We all go through that stage in a breakup where you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get her back. And then eventually you move on to things like that.
Yeah, there's no point in that. There's no point in that. You can't. I love movies because people never get back together. In movies, it's like they make you believe that people can get back together and will get back together. It doesn't happen. Are you kidding me? It never happens. Never. So this whole fucking bullshit that Hollywood's ingrained in us, like, oh, you break up, but then the guy does something and he holds a boombox or whatever. Nothing happens like that. It never happens.
I was recently in Austin. You would know that. And so I was listening to the song Austin by Blake Shelton, and it made me realize why I hate the man. In the song, the guy breaks up with the girl and he leaves his voice message, like his voicemail says, P.S. if this is Austin, I still love you. Then he changes his voicemail because he's going out of town for the weekend and leaves the same message. She calls and hears it both times and is like, oh God, he must really love me. That's not how life works. If you did that to a woman, she would call and be like, this man is the biggest psychopath I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, Hollywood lies to you and does not teach you how to be a real man.
Whenever you try to follow the Hollywood script, they call you a stalker, or they now with social media, they'll put you on blast and be like, look at what this fucking lunatic did. He was outside of my house with a boombox, for Christ's sakes.
That used to be my favorite move.
Yeah,
I would do that. Women do not like that.
No.
So you're dealing with the breakup. Anthony and Melinda decide to take you out. You go to PJ Clark's. Is this a regular spot for the Ron and Fez crew? I know Bar 9 because that comes up later in the show, but was PJ Clark's the go-to?
PJ Carney's was the more regular place, which is weird that it sounds very similar. PJ Carney's was the place right around the corner. We were on XM was 57th and 8th. So I guess PJ Carney's was like 57th and 7th. No, 57th and 9th, because it'd be going the other way. And PJ Clark's, meanwhile, was more on the east side to my recollection, like 53rd.
Like you.
And 3rd or something like that. Yeah. PJ Clark's was the nicer establishment. It was a very, very nice, cool bar, Irish bar.
Irish bar, right?
PJ Carney's was the one that, since it was so close, we would just get really shit-faced. And that's where a lot of crazy shit happened. But same thing with PJ Clark's. PJ Clark's was like, you're trying to go there and maybe you're trying to act a little bit more on your best behavior at PJ Clark's, where we went, because it was a little more of an upscale place.
And it seems like based on how you were received by Anthony, maybe you were acting like you were at PJ Carney's when you were at PJ Clark's trying to get fucked up.
I acted like an animal here at PJ Clark's, and there's a good chance I forgot which PJs I was at, because I wasn't at Carney's, I was at Clark's, and it's not the type of place necessarily that you can have your language at full volume.
No, it's not a real Irish pub. It's a classy establishment.
Hold on. It's a real Irish pub. Because it's so real, you're going to get like some fucking like 70-year-old like Irish guy like writing a novel in the corner or something. What I'm saying is it's not for like American jackasses in their 20s, screaming, being loud and shit like that.
Okay.
PJ Carney's, we could act like drunk American assholes. PJ Clark's, just drink, just get fucked up, but let's not be, let's get fucked up and jolly. Let's not be Guns N' Roses.
that makes sense.
See,
I see. So
that's the difference.
and the way it's presented to us on air is that you just went out with Anthony and Melinda and then showed up late for the show. I'm guessing, knowing Ron and Fez, they were like, go have fun and come in when you're
Yes,
done.
Ron said, Anthony said we should take him out. We should go out. Or maybe it was Melinda's idea. But regardless, Melinda and Anthony had the idea. We'll take him out, take him out for a few drinks, make him feel better. And when Ron heard that, I'm like, he goes, yeah, you could do it. And I said to him, well, we have a show. We have a show at 6.
Yeah.
Tonight,
Yeah.
Because I do think it was a Friday, but I'm like, but we were Monday through Friday on Sirius XM and 92.3 K-Rock. So I'm like, but we do have a show. And Ron's like, nah, go out, have fun. I'm like, are you saying I can drink? Like, can I drink? He's like, yeah, go get fucked up. He goes, but this is what he said. He said, you can get fucked up, but you have to bring Anthony back.
Oh, okay.
That's the only stipulation. Like,
I mean, that's a fair trade any day of the week.
100% fair trade. I go, that's legit. Like, I can get fucked up. I can really, pound him down a little bit. And he's like, as Ron said, as long as Anthony comes back, you bring back Anthony so we could hear about maybe some of the things that happened. I go, okay, I can do this. And I did. I got Anthony. I probably asked Anthony every 15 minutes, you're coming back to the Ron and Fez show, though, right, Mr. C? You're not coming back. I know we're having fun here, but we got to have you back. Because if I showed up to Ron and Fez as fucking hammered as I was and no Anthony, no.
That would have been bad. That would have been real bad.
Really bad. I don't think I would have showed up.
No, at that point,
get Anthony, I think I would have went home.
Or bar 9. But that does seem like a good move by Ron. Now I got to ask, when he said Anthony can say any of the stories that happened, did that plant a seed in your head? Because if you're like me,
no.
When you're sober, you hear that and you go, okay, yeah. And then you get drunk and you go, oh, I'm supposed to do things that they can talk about.
No, not necessarily. But I certainly was going to let my hair down, no matter which PJs we were at. I was going to let the old hair down. I was getting the green light. Why not have a jolly good time?
Now, I get it. That's what you do when you're blowing off steam like that, right? But I want to ask, you were a fan of the Ron and Fez show. You were a regular listener. This is your first time getting drunk and then going to be on air. If I have to think of anybody as an example who did that regularly, it would be Billy Staples. Speaking of Red Bank, New Jersey. You're new to the Ron and Fez show. Do you feel like there was a Staples-like influence at all, where you're kind of acting like Billy a little bit, trying to be over the top and drunk, trying to be a little stupider than usual?
No, I don't see. I mean, I know what you're saying, but we both like we both like to drink, I guess. At this time, we would both drink till we got really, really, really drunk, I suppose, is what is a fair statement at this point in my life. Yeah.
So it turns out just anybody from New Jersey, when they drink to a certain point, acts the same way. Just
pretty much.
That's fair. That's fair. Just as listening to it and knowing you as well as I do now and seeing how fresh you were, like listening, I kind of went, oh, he's kind of acting like Billy Staples. So it is interesting that, it was just you being you.
Yeah, I think you're just hearing a drunk person, man. I think you're just hearing a drunk person associating that with Billy Staples. I think that's just you. Because, I can honestly tell you Billy Staples was never on my mind this entire time.
He's always on my mind.
Maybe my entire duration at Ron and Fez, truth be told. I wasn't going to act like anyone, but especially I didn't have Billy in mind to act like.
I mean, I think about him too much then.
Yeah,
almost nonstop.
No, that's maybe you're stalking. Some guys, there's 3 guys stalking me. Maybe some guys stalking, or maybe you're stalking Billy.
The difference is I'm nice. I'm like, you're the man, Billy Staples. Your career was awesome. I'm not like your crazy stalkers. But on that note, we've talked a bunch. Let's let the people listen to some Ron and Fez audio so they know some of the context, and we'll come right back and discuss what we heard after this.
All right, you know what? I'm getting a word that guess who's coming through the lobby right now?
Oh, he finally decided to show up for work?
Yeah. Where? Oh, and look who he's coming in with. The big radio star, Anthony.
Anthony from O&A?
Who's my guy?
Yeah, I'm what?
Who's my guy, Ronnie B?
I guess I am.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Let me
God.
kiss him. Let me give him a kiss.
Sit down.
All right.
Ant, did you have him out with you? Yeah. Mic ons.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He is really a
kiss
treat to be out with. He is one of those guys, and I haven't been in this situation in years, where you're completely embarrassed by what he's saying and doing.
Sure.
I've heard Ronnie, I've heard you talk about this.
Right.
When you're out with him. I think you guys were at Serendipity, and he was saying inappropriate things and being inappropriate. We went out to a little drinking establishment that had some, burger joint, beers and liquor. And look at him asking for. Look, he's asking in sign language for. He's like Bobo the chimp.
Oh my God! Look,
Bobo knows how to sign for an apple, and he's signing for a beer.
look at the dead eyes.
Let me just tell you something.
You got dead eyes.
They're barely open.
Dump out.
That's the last time.
Dump out.
That's the last time.
Oh,
That's the last
I also want to point out to the dump guy. Be awake.
Yes.
Stay on top
totally.
of
That's
it.
the last time.
Yeah.
I wanted to say my boss is Ron Bennington, Fez Watley, my best bosses, and they care for me so much. And Anthony is getting me through this.
Yeah.
Anthony is getting me
thank
through
God.
this.
Thank you,
whole-
Anthony.
Oh my
Thank
God.
God I'm here.
No, he has been my sounding board the whole time.
That's
Ronnie.
Yeah.
We went to this establishment, PJ Clark's, okay?
Right.
And I said...
nice old time tavern in New York City.
Great.
Yeah.
I was saying Mr. C. He said, don't call me that.
No, because it
I
sounds
said-
like he's Richie Cunningham.
I asked him to call me Jim. It's not even close to my name, and I felt much better about that.
It's more comfortable anyway.
One thing that I was very surprised at, he actually taught me something.
What's that?
This evening? That this place, PJ's, has the world's largest urinals.
Oh yeah, they're gigantic.
and he is fascinated by.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
couldn't shut up about them.
Yeah.
and believe me, the whole place knew that this place had the biggest urinals you'll ever see.
He loves old world plumbing.
Yes, it's just.
Well, actually, I've been in that place. It's like relieving yourself in a mausoleum. They are gigantic.
They are floor to ceiling
Yeah.
urinals.
Yeah. And also, Ronnie B.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I felt like me and Anthony...
I just saw you a couple hours ago. How could you be this drunk?
He was fine,
one
right?
of the things...
and it all hit. It's like.
Can I tell you how?
Yeah.
Because we got there, and I said, Jaeger? And I gave me Jaeger. And then he finished, and I said, oh, Jaeger?
They didn't stop.
And then
The
I said,
Jaeger didn't
Jaeger.
stop, and the Jaeger was just the shots.
Right.
He was also doing the Jack and Cokes.
Oh, I love those, Ronnie, so much.
Oh, he
Fezzy.
certainly does.
Me and Fez
every
went
time
out last night.
Every time I said cheers, it was, what are you doing? Don't pick up the water.
Oh, jeez.
Jack and Cokes and Jaeger. So we reached the point where he gets like incoherent and a little like he wants to entertain the entire place.
So he stands up.
He stands up and he starts doing movie lines from like inappropriate kind of racist movies.
Oh, yeah.
And there
Of
are
course.
African American patrons
Sure.
in there.
Like
They
one-
shouldn't have been
behind
there.
us.
It's PJ Clark's.
PJ
Clark's Irish
one
bar.
African American gentleman was dressed very nice in a sweater and I didn't think twice about this. And what did you say to him?
I said, hey, man, nice Cosby sweater, homie.
Nice Cosby sweater, homie.
jeez.
Problem
And the
with that,
guy,
Al?
and then one of the people there that worked there heard it and said, "Look, if you keep this up, you're going to have to go."
Sure, because it's a
Yeah.
real place for human beings.
Yeah, they actually said you're on probation.
Yeah, they put him
Oh.
on double secret probation.
We get this. As 2 days from now, we have 2 black coaches in the Super Bowl. These are the
Right.
comments we're hearing.
For Lovey and Tony, way to go.
He knocks it back 100 years, the civil rights movement.
Lovey
Good job.
Smith, don't wear a sweater like that. This sweater was ridiculous.
A
Ronnie.
swear like that?
Very, very.
Would you forget the sweater?
Ronnie.
About the
No,
It
sweater.
was very
Must have
80s,
hated that sweater.
1980s black guy.
Now, Ed.
What?
Ed, why would you and your chick take him out anyway? Are you guys thinking about adopting a retard? Wanted to give it a trial run?
You know, you see, I kind of see how celebrities, you know, I know I'm on the bottom rung. Believe me, I understand my position. But I see how when they adopt, like, underprivileged children, it kind of gets them in the news.
Right.
So I figure maybe a retarded redhead might, like, boost me up a little bit.
He's such a nice
Take
man.
me to the next rung. And the fact that we were out with our whole staff.
Right.
Also, they were there.
He's the best.
Cheering him on also. Movie lines, he's running through those. And of course it didn't, because I'm mortified.
Right.
But the rest of my staff is just going, do another one. And they're picking like horrid movies. What was the one that they picked?
Was it 25th Hour or was it American History X?
American
right.
History.
So
Yeah,
don't
good
bring
one.
that up.
And,
Well, wait a second. That's a great movie.
Of
Right.
course, it's a great movie, but you don't stand up in a restaurant like you're delivering this soliloquy. He stands up. He doesn't just sit at the table and deliver the line. He stood up and grabbed a plate at one point from where the kitchen is and a napkin
decided it.
and did like where he's cleaning the plate off and then went into the Shining Wendy speech.
Wait a second.
Okay.
Time out.
Complete with all the cursing and the...
If I may speak,
Yes.
there was only 2 of those people in the restaurant, Ron.
Doesn't matter.
There was 30 of
Guess
us.
what?
Ronnie, there
And
was
it doesn't
30 of
matter
us.
if it's all white people.
30
You
of
don't
us.
act like this in public or private.
Ronnie, there was 30 of us. There was 2 of them. What the heck?
2 of them.
Who? Them
Yes.
people?
That amounted to 32 human beings. Actually,
Yeah.
31 and you.
Yeah.
It was...
The only way that math gets over is in Boston, Red. That's the only place where people go us and them.
He's like
At least in the Northeast.
You're like
We
an
ha-
orangutan with that orange.
Oh, jeez.
We finally had to leave. I mean, pick up and leave. I asked the waitress,
Ran.
I go, could I have the check? And she goes, yeah. And I gave her my credit card and said, just do everything you need to do. So I just have to sign this and get out of here.
Right.
Because he stood up and did, I believe, Scorsese's line from Taxi Driver.
All right, I know that line.
You know when he's in the back of the cab and his
Right.
girlfriend's in the silhouette in the window and he recites why he hates her and wants to blow certain parts of her away with the 38.
Right.
He got
But
redder.
he completed every line of that with the racist.
I'm trying to be accurate.
And-
That's
Except you
all I'm
called
trying
it-
to do.
You
I'm
were
trying
accurate.
to give
48.
people lines from great movies. It's the AFI type.
The
thing.
waitress that was serving you,
Ronnie.
the waitress that was serving you with a smile and service
And cute.
You
Snobby.
Right.
called her a snobby C. You were
Snobby.
And
probably
Dave,
one
You're out
of
of
the
control.
worst
You
patrons.
somehow-
So
You're
bad.
out of control right now, Dave.
Yep.
he somehow got every word right except for the 38. He said 48, but got all the
48,
racist
Yeah,
lines
all the
right.
racist lines he knows down. He didn't know the
I know.
caliber of the
Caliber
gun.
is 48. What's a 48, Dave?
It's a little slip. What the
48 is
heck?
his IQ when he
cares?
drinks this much.
What the
right.
heck, indeed.
Dave, here's another problem with this.
Yeah.
All this drunking rampaging went on when you're supposed to be here working.
Yeah,
I know.
you're 45 minutes at least late. You're supposed
Yeah.
to be here for show prep, I guess.
You know, just
Tom
because all
Chiasano
of,
called.
all
He's
of
furious.
us-
John Manelli called furious.
I want
I
to
do,
get you.
I do a shot, so you said, I'll do a shot with you, and I'm like, okay, and then Than's like, I'll do a shot, and you're like, oh, I'll do a shot with you, and then Danny's like, oh, I'll do a shot, and you're
Yeah,
like, I'll
so
do a
every
shot with
one
you.
person that did a shot, he was doing a shot too. So he's like, I'm just doing shots with everybody. But it was, no, everyone would occasionally do one, but he's doing them with everyone and chasing it down with a Jack and Coke.
That's how Anthony failed high school.
Yeah, right. But that's the age to do that.
I know.
Not your
Right.
age now. You're 29.
And I mean,
Are
like
you?
Time to
John
grow up.
Manelli, Tony Suchamuzo,
What?
GM,
Oh my, what?
What's his name?
the general manager.
What's his name?
The guy I give movies to.
The gym,
Yeah.
the gym manager?
Tom Simio. Hey,
Whoa.
relax.
What?
Guys have to blow off some steam from time to time.
Not doing
Ronnie.
work.
During
Yeah.
working hours?
Ron,
You had
I'm here.
21
I'm here.
other hours.
I'm here.
I'm here, aren't
You know
I?
what? All you gotta do is stay late. I guess you make up for it.
Wait a second, I'm here. Now listen, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Can I just get 2 words in edgewise? So me and Anthony had the best
Your buddy?
fun in this special. Oh man,
Oh,
he
we're
is
buddies now.
Yeah.
The best.
I hope you exchange phone numbers.
I love him so much.
Shut up, Fez.
He is
Don't even
well-
suggest that.
Wait a
I've heard
minute.
about the crying phone calls. I don't need them.
We're already into the "I love you, man"
Oh, I
stage.
love this
Yeah, that's
guy,
where he is.
Ronnie. This Anthony guy.
Yeah.
He's even better. You know, he's just such a nice guy, down to earth and everything.
I
Oh, that's
try.
nice.
Now,
I try.
one thing that I did, Ronnie B.
What's that,
and
buddy?
Fezzy W was I advised Anthony
Thank
Yeah.
to
you for
get
this.
these mini cheeseburgers.
Sure.
And then me and Anthony had mini cheeseburgers, and we both got a medium. So we had the same exact plate, and I was like,
Ronnie, we
"Dude,
bonded.
Yeah, I
We bonded
understand.
over mini cheeseburgers.
I
Because
mean-
men don't normally like cheeseburgers. That's
Right, no.
so unusual.
So when two men could sit there and it's like, you like cheese, I like them too.
I like them as well."
Dave, these cheeseburgers, were they real big?
No, small,
Oh,
Ron.
mini. Oh.
You
Mini.
got three
So
little
big,
ones.
big.
No, Ron, mini
little tiny
cheeseburgers. Me and Anthony got mini cheeseburgers. 3. I don't understand the confusion.
They were 3.
Ron and B.
Where's
me-
your third cheeseburger go, Dave?
Let me tell you how this ended up.
Yeah.
I wasn't very hungry because we ate
My
early
best
with the
pal.
staff. I had 2 of the mini cheeseburgers, and Dave also had 2.
Right.
So he had 1 left over, which then he ordered some French onion soup. So that sat in front of him, and then he had to go visit the world's largest urinals again. So he went back, and it was the table's consensus that we take his mini burger and throw it in his onion soup, along with like
Ketchup that
piles
was
of
laced
ketchup
with
and salt. So that all got stirred together. He came back and didn't miss a beat and just started eating this hamburger French soup ketchup
We're having a bonding
concoction
situation.
of crap. That
Because we're having a bonding situation, me and Anthony. From Opie and Anthony.
There is a cigarette just stuck to the bottom of his lip.
Roddy, I got to tell you
Yeah.
the story.
he is
Yeah.
hammered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
please.
So I
You want that back? It's on the floor.
I go to Anthony. I go, "Listen,
Yeah.
one time I called your show.
All right.
It was awesome. It was
We were
one of the-
reminiscing.
Going way back.
And I'm like, how come this call didn't get a better laugh?" And I go, you were doing a butter face contest. Girls with good bodies, but not necessarily great faces. And I said, "Anthony," I called up to the Opie and Anthony show. This is about 2000, man. And I go,
Weren't you off the air?
she has, and I go like this. This is my line. I got on the air. I go, "Number 7 has got a face like a waffle iron." Right? That's
What does that
hysterical. And Anthony, he didn't laugh at all. And he goes,
I didn't
I'm
laugh
laughing
now.
at
Still not
you,
laughing.
honey.
Yeah, me
and he
neither.
goes,
Still don't get it.
"It was a bad line, Dave."
What do you think that line is? Wine? And 7 years later, it was just going to get better.
Yes,
you know, in
thanks.
2000, you got to let that joke breathe. Put it in a carafe.
Dave.
That
me
joke
o-
stunk then, it stinks now.
Let me
Not
open up
only-
this bottle of humor from the year 2000.
Oh, that's a fun. Blow the dust off of it.
Anthony, don't you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Her
No.
face looks like a waffle iron. Waffle irons in general, not necessarily
Waffle irons
attractive.
in jokes I've heard, like Helen
Not
Keller reading one for
necessarily
Braille.
Hey,
Yeah, you
waffle
know,
irons are hot, aren't they?
they're hot.
Now,
very
here's the
hot.
other thing. We've been trying to help you out with your chick. The radio station, Free FM, is getting behind you. Listen to this, what we got for you.
We got you fresh flowers from 1-800-Flowers.com.
Sent to her.
Taking
Now-
care of you.
That's not the only thing. They said every day, leading all the way up to the 14th, Valentine's Day, they'd send her something different.
Thank you, 1-800-Flowers. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So maybe she won't realize that you're just drunk and an idiot because there's these things show, and it won't be the same thing every day, right?
Right, exactly. It's going to be a little bit nicer gift each day leading up to a really nice thing from 1-800-Flowers.com on Valentine's
Can I
Day.
So
Say
finally
this?
on the 14th, she gets a better boyfriend.
Yay!
That's not helpful. Again.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know what the best thing about that is?
Yeah.
That it's completely devoid of any thought on your part.
I was going to say
Because
that.
it's not the thought that counts. It's the other people that can get sponsors for the show
That can give
to
you free
pump
crap.
merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah, free stuff to your girlfriend.
I love free stuff from
Me too.
nobody.
Doesn't.
That I don't even know.
We love it.
I do too.
Can I just
Tchotchke's the best.
Can I just say this? Can
Yeah.
I just say this right now?
All right, well, can
If
we
you
do
can.
this? Could we take a break because Earl's forcing me? He's getting mad. And pick it up when you come back.
Yes, we can do
All right,
that.
right back, Ron and Fez. All right, buddies. It's a Ron and Fez show. It turned into a madhouse in here tonight. Our producer, Dave, in a little bit of a drunken tizzy. And
Let me hug Fezzy.
Anthony's here.
You're on my foot.
Let me hug Fezzy. Let me hug Fezzy.
And his chick is I guess an experiment. Took East Side Dave out
Yeah.
for drunkenness.
It was the science fair.
Yeah.
Well, it worked.
It's been like a whole day of fun. Went out with the staff of our show.
Right.
And then got done there. And then came up to the show over at Satellite and then talked with you guys. And then hooked up with Dave. And for some reason, it worked out where we were going to a bar.
Yeah.
Before
Go figure,
this show.
your staff was like, no, I'll just have a Coke.
Right.
And Dave was like, bring on the shot.
Well, if I hear drinking
Yeah.
and
it's
I
over.
heard Mr. Kumia's involved, this is my only time to hang out with one of my idols.
Well, here's the thing. You're saying it's your only time, but it's not. This is your work time. You missed
Right.
work tonight, and now you do come in and you're hammered.
Yeah, I mean, I missed a little bit of work, Ronnie
Yeah.
B, but, you know.
And then he also
15
says... 15
minutes, Ron. Big
During
deal.
the break, he comes over...
15?
No, it was more.
45.
45 minutes, and now you're drunk. You've been sitting in the same seat instead of working.
It's about 6:20.
Yeah.
Do you think you're a guest, Dave? Or
No, I
do you work
don't.
here?
I'm a producer of this radio show.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you this much
Producing
right now.
liver damage. It's about the only thing he's producing.
What did you produce today,
Cirrhosis.
Let me
Dave?
just say this right now.
Yeah.
I'm a producer of the Ron Fez show. And let me just tell you this much right now. It's about 6:25 on the East Coast, and
No,
we're
it's
going
not.
to rock and roll the show tonight.
7:05.
It's not 6:25 on any coast, anywhere.
Hey, Ronnie,
Yeah.
Ronnie, nice punked. 7:05. But let me just tell you this. Let me just tell you this.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody, buckle your seatbelts.
Bucket your seatbelt.
It's gonna be like Nick Cage and Ghost Rider, the best actor in America.
Oh, God.
I didn't see Ghost Rider. Does that mean
God.
that your hair is like
No.
so red it's on
Yeah.
fire?
Well, thanks.
new.
Yeah, thanks for showing up for bad radio. That's what we need. We get your bad radio in here.
What are you talking about?
You're yelling about Nick Cage, and it's 6:25, and nothing makes sense. Maybe if we were all loaded, Dave, but it's just you.
No, it's not me. It's me, Mr. Anthony.
Well,
it's
Mr. Anthony.
my sweet Melinda.
You know, when the bass player from Van Halen comes in, call him Mr.
I'm
Anthony.
not going to call him Anthony out of respect.
I told you to
Thank
call him
you.
Ace, and you disrespect him and won't call him Ace.
The
Even
only
though I
person
said
who-
he likes that.
The only person who calls him Mr. Anthony is
Me?
Earl. Mr. Anthony.
when he's driving me around.
I call him Daddy.
I'm not going to call him
Oh,
Ace.
jeez.
You,
Oh,
it's-
jeez.
Oh, some other people had drinks tonight, too,
yeah,
huh?
everybody's drinking.
yeah.
I only call him Daddy when he's talking to my cat.
Oh, jeez.
A few people had some beverages.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I must say, Dave really just, I did not see him without a drink and a shot in front of him the entire time. We were looking at the clock going, we've been here about an hour and a half, and he has not been without a drink in front of him. And I don't mean like nursing a drink, like slamming him, and then another, and he just wouldn't stop. And the more the waitress would bring him, the more belligerent he got toward that nice waitress.
She wasn't nice,
What was
Anthony.
wrong
was
with
so
her?
cute.
All right, I'm
There we go.
I'm trying to be nice
She
here.
had an
we had a
attitude
relationship.
problem. She had an attitude problem.
What was wrong with her?
She said, "Are you sure
What's
you
this
want
new
fries?"
personality, Sybil? Now who are you?
It's Mr. Attitude.
She came over at one point, and she had an order for another table. And Dave stopped her and said, "I'd like to see the menu again," because he wanted to get, I guess, some soup. So she
He wanted
goes,
nachos.
"Okay, in a second." And she starts walking away, and he started ordering. And in the middle of him talking, she had said she had something to do. So she's walking away, and he goes, "Oh, just walk away. Just walk away." And I put my head down, and I'm embarrassed.
Sure.
He's so embarrassing to be with.
It was rude.
Well, if
You
anyone,
were rude.
if anyone spotted you, you'll be the one in page 6.
Oh, I know.
It'll be your
oh,
name.
yeah, I know it's true.
Table with Anthony,
Yeah.
a shock jock, is also a shock diner.
Yeah.
Because when he was eating with friends, he was shocking the staff with racist and sexist comments.
It's true.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there trying to, like, control the situation.
Are you sure? Because he name dropped as if they were all there.
Oh, that's
Right.
another thing he does. When he is out, now I heard this also, listening to you guys,
Yeah.
his name dropping, and I thought, what could it be? Michael Caine came out of...
Jane Fonda.
He knows everyone that comes into this place. PJ, hey, we might run into Michael Caine. And it's like his buddy, Michael Caine.
Wait a
like
second.
they stood together
He
by the
actually
world's
told
largest
us-
urinals.
He told us what Michael Caine ordered, as
Yeah.
if he had sat
And
at
then,
his
you know what?
table.
Michael Caine wasn't at that restaurant. He was at a different one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but maybe you're right.
He's
But
having,
hold on.
he's having those King of Comedy
Hold
Jerry Lewis
on.
fantasies. Mike, I can't do 2 weeks. I can't. When you want tears to come out of my eyes.
Time out. Did I not see Mr. Anthony,
Yeah.
Nazi?
my king, not my real king. Ronnie B.
Ronnie B. is
Fez
the man.
is my king.
What did you say?
But Auntie's my prince.
I don't understand. Don't be mad if I'm not your king. That's not going to hurt my
Fine with
feelings.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie B's my king and Fez is my king.
All right,
But he's
stop.
name dropping. So we were just
King.
pointing at
But
people
wait a second,
going,
did
hey,
we-
there's John Leguizamo. It was some Puerto Rican guy just sitting eating a burger. We're like, hey, look, it's John Leguizamo. So next time, guaranteed he'll go, last time I was here, John Leguizamo was sitting right there.
He loves the burgers.
Yeah, he likes the mini burgers. I turned them on to him.
Did we or did we not see Miss Entertainment Tonight herself, Mary Hart?
You
stroll
said
out
you
of
saw
No,
Mary
we
Hart.
didn't.
I didn't see her.
She wasn't there,
Yes, she was
Dave.
there. Ronnie.
Dave.
She was there.
I saw
Miss
no Mary Hart.
And by the
She's
way,
in Los Angeles.
Dave, you were looking
No.
at me, honey.
She was the waitress you were yelling at.
let me tell you something.
Mary Hart's our waitress.
Miss Mary Hart of Entertainment Tonight,
What?
I can't do it.
you look fabulous.
What? 2 weeks? I can't give you 2 weeks. Jerry, let me show you my pride
sure
and
it
joy.
was the guy
Wait
in
till
the
he
Cosby-
shows up at your house with a suitcase,
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
saying to your Chinese doorman, "I don't understand. Where's everybody
All
else?"
right, he's joking. Jerry, we'll get to this work, and then we'll talk. What are you doing in my house?
Don't listen to her. She's a whore from a bar.
That's what he turns into. He knows all the stars.
No.
He's the mayor of friggin' New York City.
Mr. Anthony, she was there.
She was not.
Miss Mary Hart was there.
Wasn't.
No. Why
Can we
would
ask
she be?
someone who was
You're
completely
hallucinating.
sober?
Why would Mary Hart be drinking kamikazes at 5:30?
At PJ's with the mini hamburgers.
Can I tell you?
Those are big hamburgers, aren't they?
No,
Small.
they're mini.
Oh, okay, mini.
They're mini.
Small.
It's an easy mistake
They're
to make.
mini.
Ronnie.
Why
Right.
are you
The
keep getting
onion
confused
soup
about
burgers
this?
Oh,
are
I'm
good.
sorry. I made a mistake.
Wait, Ronnie, it's
Yeah.
like.
And they go great
wait,
with onion
if
soup.
I can just talk for 5 seconds.
All right,
I
go
don't
ahead.
want nachos. I'll have French fries.
I
Thank you.
don't understand why you keep calling the hamburgers big.
All right, forget that.
Okay, fine. Let me just talk to you about Mary Hart now.
Yeah,
Miss
no.
Mary Hart. No, Ryan, real
Okay,
quick.
real fast.
Okay, real fast?
Yeah.
She was there, dude.
All right.
She was there.
Now I
Well,
believe
that
you.
covers
Sure.
that.
I believe you.
He
now.
slurred the word nachos so bad that it came out. Could I have some matches? Like it was asking for matches and then cashews. It was nothing.
Just for the rest of us?
Nachos. It was everything but matches. You want matches and salsa? What the guy? You couldn't speak. You're a slurring mess.
You are.
I'm not. I am not that
You
way.
don't make a good drunk, and I would suggest do you drive at all?
No.
Please
I saw
don't.
my
God.
car got sold from me, from underneath me by mom and pop. Hey,
Thank
by the
effing
way, I'm going
God.
to take
Right,
this time to say,
Because
mom and pop.
if a doctor swabbed his arm with alcohol, he'd be slurring to the cop on the way home from the doctor's office. Officer.
All right, Dave. What happened to you getting your girlfriend back?
Okay, well,
I mean, is it your fantasy
tonight.
that you're going to end up marrying her on Anthony's show
Oh, my
with
God.
your old principal?
No.
Do you remember what you said at the
As the
bar?
minister, we are sorry for the way we treated you in high school.
Dave, we realize we were wrong and you were right.
We'll be right back when the king of comedy takes his queen. You idiot.
Do you remember what you said at the bar,
Pumpkin.
Dave?
He is Rupert Pumpkin. Jerry.
What did you say at the bar, Dave?
I did say I'm going to do this, Ronnie B.
Nothing
No,
coherent.
that's not what
That's
you
a
said.
W.
What did you
That's
say?
not what he said. F her, I'm gonna just drink and yeah.
Oh, he was done with her for a
Yeah.
while?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He said he was throwing away the groveling plan because remember earlier we spoke
Yeah.
about this, and
Right.
he said he was going to go over her house and grovel. He was
Right.
going to write down what he was going to say in his composition book, and then grovel to his girlfriend to try to get her back.
Ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girl. And I was like, don't do that. Have some pride. So he later, after a few drinks, was like, you know something? You're right. I'm not groveling. I'm going to show her who's butt. He's banging on the table. He's cursing at F that whore. He's like just throwing around inappropriate. And of course the waitress thinks he's talking about her.
Of course.
So she's spitting
Called
in
her
the food.
fat.
She's already been bad-mouthed, so of
Oh,
course anything
yeah.
coming out is about her.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm around Mr. Anthony, it becomes clear. I feel like
Moment of clarity.
I feel like a Clint Eastwood
Moment of
type
clarity.
guy. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like a
The
Clint
guru.
You know what, Mr. Anthony and I, I can't wait to. We're just gonna be hanging out all the time.
Good
after-
friends.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you were whispering to me that you're going to the Renaissance Festival?
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to the Renaissance Festival with Anthony and Melinda.
Right.
I suggested that he would look good if he grew in like one of those little Errol Flynn type goatee
mean.
things.
True.
Because he's got the red hair and everything. And if he put on some kind of a D'Artagnan like outfit,
Sure.
I think you'd really look the part of the old Irish type. Old world.
Well, I didn't hear that part.
You didn't. You didn't hear that part.
But at the same time, double date.
Double
Me,
date.
Anthony, Melinda, and my baby.
And who's
Your
your
hand?
baby?
I don't know.
You're
Whoever's
dressed
gonna
your
be.
hand up in a nice
But listen,
glove.
listen.
It ain't going to be Claire anymore.
Hey, listen.
I'm sorry.
Double dates.
Oops. Double date.
Double dates from now
We
on.
go up to a tuxedo for the big Renaissance Festival in fall.
Every Renaissance Festival,
please come
and then
on.
after that, every Saturday.
I want to see you just drink one of those big yard things full of mead until you vomit.
You know how they say
vomit
it's
up
like
your big turkey.
You know how
leg.
they say it's like 2007 AD.
Yeah.
Who says that? They say that? Who?
I think.
Oh,
like
you mean
going around.
You mean the Earth? Is
listen,
that who says that?
listen.
It's more the Earthlings.
Right. Silly me.
You know what that stands for?
What's that?
2007. Anthony Dave. It's
Oh,
on you, baby.
it's kismet.
It's a date.
Yeah.
It's a date.
Yeah.
Serendipity, the other place you go and embarrass people in New York. Wow, we're meant for each other.
is-
AD, Anthony Dave.
So I get to F Claire?
He is one.
God.
I'm not.
What?
I'm not going to participate.
Not going to
Good,
entertain
smart.
that thought.
But I'm just going to
Good
say this.
thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
What a nice gentleman.
All right, but what's your plan now? You got dumped 2 nights ago, right?
Yeah.
Last night you got drunk. Tonight you got drunk.
Yeah, I know.
Sooner or
How'd that
later you're
happen?
gonna have to get sober and deal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The plan was to get on New Jersey Transit and head over to see her
And
tonight.
I am going to do that tonight.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
In this
I'm
condition.
not
Real-
sure about that
Girls
one.
are real receptive to
Yeah.
drunk, belligerent idiots that they've broken up with.
Oh,
Take the
we're
waitress
going
with
to-
you.
Come on now.
Great way to get back.
If people
happy.
can stop being silly for a second, I'm going to say
We're being
what I'm
serious,
going to
Dave.
say. I'm going to say this. Hey, baby. You know how much I care about you, sweet ham.
I care about you too, Dave.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not talking to me.
You know how much I care about you. All right. You know how much you care about me. We're like Slim Jims and Palio string cheese.
Oh, that's not, this is crazy talk.
Stupid.
Wait a second,
You're not helping
Ronnie.
yourself. You're not
help
helping
me.
yourself.
Help me. Help you.
I don't need help. I'm fine. My only problem is I got drunk in here.
More movie lines.
Baby.
Me? I get confused.
No, I'm not talking about you. man.
Okay,
I'm talking about
Anthony?
baby.
baby. Starving.
Pork chop. Let me just tell you this.
Job.
Any more of those big hamburgers?
He's calling her fat.
Sweet pea.
Seriously.
She's round.
Stop talking about food.
All right.
Because, I came to work. I didn't go out PJ Clark's.
Fine. Butterbean. Let me just tell you.
Oh my God! Stop calling her fat.
Maybe if you quit calling her cured foods, she'd take you back.
Call her mini
Fine.
hamburger.
Nerf
You
product.
love those. You
Nerf
love the mini
product. Whatever.
Mini hamburger with
Mini
onion
hamburger.
soup on the side.
West Side.
You got onion
I'm
soup
coming
there,
for you
baby.
tonight. You best be listening. If you hear that rap, rap, rap on your door, you know Davey's in town, and Mr. Anthony's backing him up.
I've already
Wait,
called.
wait.
I
You're
wouldn't
driving me
interfere
down
with
there.
his.
I'm backing you up.
Dave, I've already hit 9 and 1. All I got is one more number, and that's
do
it.
No. There's no reason for that.
That's her old man right now. It's just sitting there 9-1 and looking out the window.
That old French maniac.
All right,
doesn't-
easy. You're not helping. All right, here's our buddy Sal from AJ Maxwell's. Keith the cop hooked us up with this food. Very, very nice. Sal's our buddy. Sal,
Answer the door.
how you doing, pal? You're on the air, Sal.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Listen,
Yeah.
you got to tell Dave stop calling 1-800-Flowers and come over here. Tell East Side to come over here and bring West Side. We'll take care of dinner. We'll give him a nice romantic dinner.
That'd be
No
nice.
more flowers. No more flowers. Eat, We'll have a good time.
Eat.
Thing is, she loves flowers, so actually 1-800-Flowers would be unbelievable.
But wouldn't a romantic night out in a nice restaurant,
No.
little table, candle lit?
You're saying she's fat
They sell liquor.
again. You're saying no food, just flowers.
I don't want her to
believe
eat.
you.
I don't want a potbelly girl.
Oh my God! Run, Westside, run.
I'll have you guys totally secluded. You won't be seeing nobody or nothing.
You'll
Yeah.
have to.
You don't want anyone
Keep
to
him
see
in the
her
toilet.
now?
Let him eat in the toilet. Set up 2 tables over one of the toilets, put a nice candle there, sit down and eat.
Dinner by the lake.
If she goes over 106,
All right, easy, big man.
whatever. She knows I have a scale. She knows I have a scale.
You don't
You
have
know what
her.
I'm
And you're at
talking
the bottom
about.
of it.
You don't have her, and you're going to regret all this later.
She can't weigh more than your belly, Dave.
She usually weighs 100. But Ronnie,
All right,
need
leave
a
me
little
out
bit
of it.
lately.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
bye.
allowing her a 6-pound buffer. What a guy.
Well,
She can't weigh more than the beer he can
all right,
intake.
easy.
Understand?
What are you doing? Sit down.
He's pooping? What are you
Yeah.
doing?
This is for Anthony. I'm punching out, guys. Have a good night.
All
See
right,
you
there,
later.
fella.
You don't know how to
Thanks.
punch
Sal
out.
from AJ Maxwell's, 48th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just kidding, baby.
Can we go there later for
Hey,
dinner?
listen.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Oh, please.
I'm just joking.
Hungry?
Listen, baby. I love you very much. I want you back. Stop playing this whole game, okay? Stop doing this whole deal. This isn't Scorsese's Departed, one of the great movies of all time. In fact,
Doesn't make sense.
the best,
It doesn't work.
Sanity's been deployed.
Yeah.
the best movie. Excuse me,
Sobriety.
love you, Mr. Anthony, but just you know.
Oh, hey, I'll back off there, Dave. You know something? I know when to back off. Back
Continue,
off.
please.
Dave is speaking.
Best movie of
All
2006.
right, stop.
Now he's
By
doing
far.
movie reviews.
By far.
Are you saying
By far.
Turned
She
into
did
a
if
love
the
Big
punch.
Academy
as a
Award does not
widescreen
give
movie?
Scorsese a movie,
Okay.
Academy Award, then go ahead.
All right, hold on. Let me reset the table here. This is our producer, Eastside Dave. He normally, up to this point, has done a good job. A couple nights ago, his girlfriend left him. He's been on a drinking bender. Aunt and Melinda tried to help him by taking him out to dinner tonight, but he drank the whole time. You show up at our job drunk tonight.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
A
not
little
working.
bit. So what? I'm
little
still here.
bit.
Yeah.
I'm here, Ronnie. I'm doing my job.
It doesn't matter as long as
I'm
he
doing
shows
my.
up.
I'm
Right.
doing my job.
He clocked in.
Yeah, drunk, it's fine.
I can push those buttons.
What buttons?
I can
You don't push the buttons.
things
push.
on the this one right there, that one over there.
Button there. You tapped a wooden block.
All of the buttons. I can push them.
All right.
attacked me.
All right. Yeah,
I
I
didn't
know.
attack you. I'm attacking.
You sweated
Earth.
me.
Buttons.
I'm attacking.
Fatness of your
No,
girlfriend. I
when
understand.
I'm attacking people who don't respect love at this point.
Fine, red buttons.
Why is somebody else's personal low so funny? Isn't it odd the way
It
life
is.
works out?
It makes us all feel better about ourselves.
It
is
does.
what it is.
Have
It really
a breakdown.
To see somebody.
You can think, well, I'm not going to get in that position.
yeah, I'm not that low.
Yeah.
I'm not that big of a scumbag.
Sure, I got some problems.
All right, here's your friend Winnie Cooper calling in to help. Hey, Winnie.
Oh, David. I just want you guys to know that this is the Eastside Dave experience.
I see.
This is what it's like to hang out with him. And what's supposed to happen is now the wonderful girlfriend comes in and drives him home, and no one has to worry that he
Right.
doesn't get killed.
Exactly, because that girl that left you is a drunkard's dream.
That's right.
She doesn't judge you when you do all these things, but now you blew it.
You're heck right, Ronnie. That's why I
watch
want her
language.
back. Heck.
Wow, how do you blow it with a girl that accepts a drunk like
I know.
this?
She always has.
I love you so much, Winnie
Well, and that-
Cooper. I love to.
That's not your girlfriend, Dave.
David.
No, but
Focus.
seriously, if she's not listening,
Well, yeah, she's not.
me and you,
Focus.
baby.
What's that?
Oh. See, this is
Me
the
and
problem
Winnie
now.
Cooper together,
West Side,
Can't hang
Winnie,
out with him
whatever.
anymore.
together as a team.
Didn't you try something with her already?
Yes, when he was broken
5
up with her
times,
last
Ron.
time.
Yeah. And you said, Winnie, there was an attempt at rape.
He couldn't rape a fly,
I
please.
grabbed at her. Big deal.
That is a big deal.
People grab at people at flag football.
Yes, but it's not like football.
She wasn't wearing any flags.
What exactly did he do, Winnie?
Were you offended by some of my grabs? That's all. I mean,
Dave, shh. I didn't hear the story. Go ahead,
Oh,
Winnie.
David. Okay.
What exactly happened? You went out as friends.
We went out, and we had this amazing time at the Friars Club, met all these like, famous people.
Uh-huh.
But Dave just kept
Andy
knocking
Rooney.
him back.
Andy Rooney.
He was there.
Andy Rooney.
More name dropping.
It's not even interesting names.
Ran into Harvey Korman.
Winnie, am I right? Winnie.
You got to drop a name that's going to impress.
It's like the red carpet from the Oscars in 1955.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
And
hang out
now
with
making
Andy
their
Rooney.
way to the red carpet.
Winnie, am I right? Andy really was
Who
there.
walks in but Nipsey Russell? You could have heard a pin drop.
Dave, try not to
Oh
go
my
over
God.
my head because maybe then they'll understand.
All right. So when did the attempted rape take place?
Well, we're getting towards the end of the night, and people start saying, "Is that your friend over there? That crazy
Oh,
redhead?"
jeez.
Crazy redhead.
And mind you, I was had an injured leg at the time, and I was walking with a cane. So I'm walking with a cane and a brace on my leg, dragging this red-headed drunkard out of the Friars Club, shoving him into a cab, and then the man decided to throw his entire body weight on me.
Oh, jeez.
And he's such a good guy. He
Yeah.
has this weird drunken switch, and that's okay when he has this chick who will reel him back in.
Right.
But without her, he's a loose cannon.
So you literally dove on top of her?
Yeah, so what? She was single at the time, and so was I. Ronnie B, I saw Andy Rooney. And Fez W, I saw Andy Rooney.
Heard.
And
Oh my
big
God.
deal.
Single means, go
That
with anyone.
got you so
By the way,
hot.
can I just ask this one question, Ron,
Yeah.
without you interrupting me?
Go ahead.
It's getting a little
Go ahead.
uppity.
Sorry, Ron.
No, go ahead.
No, I apologize.
I want to hear it. Go ahead and ask.
Why would you never hook up with me? I love the laughter, but why? I mean, you...
Because it's clear to me, as it's clear to everyone, that this girl Westside is the only woman for you.
But we were broken
Everyone
up
knew
at
you
the
were gonna-
time.
Everyone knew you were going to get back together.
And what
I'm
was she
not the person
doing?
who's going to pick you up at the end of the night. I'm a cold, heartless bitch. I won't
Hey.
pick you up. You need someone who's going to drive you home, and that wouldn't be me. So that's why you need to not be drinking.
Who's
and you
gonna
need to
drive
move
you
your ass to
home
New Jersey and get that girl
tonight?
back.
Not her.
I mean, what's her problem, Ronnie?
She doesn't like you.
So I'm too ugly. Just ask her that, Ronnie.
You think he's too ugly, Winnie?
You think his eyes are too white?
I think he's a type.
Physical looks, Ronnie.
Right.
Please ask her.
She said it would be like dating a snowman.
Is that what it is? Thanks. I'm pretty down the dumps.
Happy birthday.
You're kind of round in the bottom and round in the middle. You have a big round head, and you're all white with a big orange nose and these black eyes. That's what I heard.
That hat! I had to have that wonderful hat!
Run, Dave.
At least you have a scarf.
Does anyone have any heroin that...
Yes.
No, David, no.
Rhetorical.
Always ready.
You know, I've been sitting back listening,
Yeah.
just soaking it in. And I think the biggest problem of this whole thing wasn't so much your looks or anything, because, you know, if you have a great personality, maybe you can overcome anything. But I think it's when she said, threw his body on top of me. That pretty much tells me she didn't want you to do that.
Right.
And maybe that turned her off a bit.
Well, I mean, what about throwing my body on top of you was not good?
It's called
Dave, everyone who's your friend.
The body's touching. That part.
Well, everyone who's your friend loves you dearly, but we all.
Why can't you at least make out with me? Like,
You didn't even kiss before that?
No.
Oh my God, Dave.
Like a dog, he hopped on her.
Oh my God.
Like the Vikings raided the village, and that was his to take.
I tried.
Winnie, if you ever need to talk, I'm here for you, honey.
I'm good. I've recovered.
You're fine. What the heck?
I just think that, Dave, you have to know that everyone loves you, and everyone gets to that point where they.
Everyone loosely.
Well, listen, they get to that point of the night where they give up on you, and you found the one person who never gave up on you, no matter
Until
how
now.
late it got.
Right.
So
Well, maybe
you
you'll
gotta
get her
fight
back.
that.
1-800-Flowers is your way right now.
1-800-Flowers is my only salvation.
1-800-Flowers.com. They're taking care of Eastside Dave. They're going to send his girlfriend something special every day up until Valentine's Day, with each gift getting a little nicer along the way.
Thank you.
Dave,
Yeah,
thank
sorry. Dave didn't mean to rape the other
Right.
girl.
These are all nice things.
Hey, now, Ronnie.
Dave swears to only rape you.
Hey, Ronnie.
He won't do anything with
Can
dogs.
I ask you a question?
Why don't we do this? We got a break. Earl's going crazy. We'll come back and you ask away. All right. It's a very drunken Ron and Fez show.
And we are back.
We're back. Oh, nothing gonna leave me now. We're back. Oh, we're never gonna leave you, Dave Pound. We're back. Oh, we're never gonna leave you, Dick. So hard. Okay, wait, hold on. Never mind.
A little too far.
Yeah, that last verse.
It is fun that you started singing. We will hear you do some singing later in this episode. This one, just as good as what we hear, believe it or not.
Well, lead singer with Guys with Ears. Everyone knows the hit song Bunsen. So I'm glad people finally get to see Davey Mack, the front man, the extremely talented lead vocalist that the Jersey Shore has gotten to see for years.
And everybody loves. Now, like we were talking about a little bit before we played that audio, there are a lot of parallels between you and I, where we both just started on a show, got hired on our dream job, and then arguably the girl who pushed us to do that and to reach out to those kind of things decides to walk away. What's your head state like? Because you got to go and do the job, right? Like, you got to go back to work. You got to be lovable, happy, upbeat,
right.
Eastside Dave. You're known for bringing the energy even this early on. How do you get into that? I'll be honest. I'll even share an emotional thing. Like, there was an episode I had a breakdown before the Eastside Dave show where you pulled me aside and were like, hey, this is how we handle it. And I'm just interested what your mindset was versus you.
Yeah, you're one of 4 people who I think burst into tears before the Eastside Dave show went on the air. And both times, me and Roy were looking at each other like, what the hell's the matter with this person?
Yeah.
I mean, not all times.
I mean, to be fair, it was only once for me. It wasn't like I did it all 4 times. I'd be curious who else the other 3 were.
Mental state. What's my mental state? I would say my mental state was pour myself into the Ron and Fez show. I don't really think of my problems when I'm on the air or trying to prepare for the show. In fact, maybe that's what makes me somewhat decent on the air is I look to radio or podcasting or video, YouTube, etc. I look to create to escape all of my problems and all of my insanity. And that's the way I deal with it, is to actually go. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, no matter what fucking horrible shit is going on in my life, I've always used radio and podcasting as an escape for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long the show may be. And then when the show's over, then the fucking stress, depression, paranoia, anxiety, then it hits. But as a person who is a genuine performer, all of that stress goes away when you're actually on the air. And then when you're off the air, it all returns like twofold. And you go, oh my God, I just wish someone would shoot a cannonball at my head.
I couldn't agree with you more. And just to sum up what you told me was the worst weather makes the best radio. Like, the worst weather, whatever you're dealing with, you put that aside, you channel it into the show, and you just entertain your ass off. And it's truly a lesson I've carried with me in every aspect of my life.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I mean, look, if you're going to be involved in radio, or you do stand-up comedy, Robert, or people write songs, right? Isn't that where you're supposed to pour all that shit into it? So then, and this way you stay somewhat sane, because life is hard,
Yeah. Did you just see my black power flash there? If we lose power, we'll be right back.
Oh shit.
But, no, you're absolutely right. And like, the running thing I do now is if I'm talking to a crazy chick and people are like, why are you talking to her? I go, I'm going to be so funny when she breaks my heart. Like, I'm going to write such good jokes.
I mean, that's not a positive attitude. I mean, that's not healthy thinking, but I can appreciate it. Okay.
And it is a good way to kind of channel things into positive energy. But what you did is you got piss drunk and started quoting your favorite movies, which I love.
Well, I actually, believe it or not, as drunk as I was, and I was really fucked up, I do have actual hazy memories of this evening. I really do. And one of the things about PJ Clark's was their bathroom, their restaurant. This is how you know really was a legit Irish pub. When you were like, it's not really an Irish pub. I'm like, no, Robert, this is a legit Irish pub. Because it's kind of like, go in there, get fucked up. Everyone, it's not about not getting fucked up. It's just about not hopping on the table, screaming about sports.
Being respectful, yeah.
Yeah, that's American type shit. You go in there, drink your Jameson, have your Guinness, have some laughs even. But laughs are what's allowed. We don't act like insane people. But the point being,
these urinals
in the bathroom, there wasn't. This is such an old school place. There weren't even urinals. It was one gigantic trough, like one huge fucking mega urinal that didn't have a flushing device. It was literally like a fucking, like we were cattle. You just go up there and you piss. You could be 4 inches next to the guy. You could be 2 feet next to the guy. It's all how you want to do it. No barriers, just about a 6 foot wide piss hole. And I went to piss, and some guy had a classic Bill Cosby sweater. And I was shocked. I don't know what year this was, 2008. No.
2007.
2007. Yeah, I was going to say it'd be earlier. So 2007. And, it was so silly. It was before like people had started wearing ugly sweaters on purpose.
Ironic.
Another thing that drives me crazy. It's the same thing with the guy who right now in 2025 does a mustache and mullet, because there's a zillion guys who do a mustache and mullet and they all think they're wacky. It's the same thing with the wacky sweater. I don't know. I can't get into it. Now I do have a Star Wars sweater, but I don't consider it wacky, or ugly. That's one I actually enjoy wearing. But anyway, point being, this guy it was blue, green, red, and brown. This is a fucking disgusting combination of colors. It looked like goddamn, fucking bum vomit.
Bum vomit Jackson Pollock painting.
Good old 53rd and 3rd, a homeless guy on the street puke. And
53rd and 3rd. Where does that come from?
Dee Dee Ramone.
Okay.
It's a famous Ramone song where he says on 53rd and 3rd, I had to, when he was 17, suck dick for like $5.
That's cheap.
That's why
get more money if
you're
you're sucking
53rd and 3rd joke, it's about you being a male prostitute. You're finally realizing that?
I am now, thanks to this episode, because later on, apparently, when you first got in the cab to go to PJ Clark's, you told the guy 53rd and whatever, not 53rd and 53rd. Which Anthony was like, I'm pretty sure is in the ocean somewhere.
Yeah, well, there's no 53rd and 53rd. There aren't 53 avenues. There are hundreds of streets. But yeah, there's only 11 avenues. So there is no 53rd and 53rd. But the 53rd and 3rd is, that's where Dee Dee may have had to do some things as a male gigolo back in the day. And you know what? Times were tight in the 70s.
For $5? Have a little self-esteem, Dee Dee.
No, it's like 1974, 1973. That $5 was gonna pay for a week's worth of rent.
God, can you imagine $5 paying a week's worth of rent? But so you made a Cosby impression.
So I started doing, because of the Bill Cosby sweater, I started doing a Bill Cosby impression, which isn't very original. So call me a hack. I got no issues with that. But this is 2007. But anyway, started to do a very drunk Bill Cosby impression. And then
that led apparently.
What?
To the gentleman in the Cosby sweater.
Yes, to him.
How did he respond?
Well, I did it at the urinal, and then I did it in front of Anthony and the table, because the guy we kind of crossed paths. And I was telling them about this guy who I was talking to in the bathroom, telling him, I love your Bill Cosby sweater. And then I saw him. He went to the bar or something. I go, that's the guy. That's the guy. Look at that stupid fucking Cosby sweater, man. Look at that shit. That's the fucking guy. Look at that black guy with the Cosby sweater.
Now, in addition to the Cosby impression, we learned that both Sam and Than were there, and Danny, who were quite instigators, who would then be like, "Hey, Dave, can you do a quote from, say, American History X?" And
yeah, I'll do the quote. I don't give a shit if you're gonna do it. And by the way, it's not like I'm so drunk. It's not like when you're intoxicated. You know, I'm under hypnosis. But if they're gonna ask for it, I'm gonna do it. Which the fucking blame ain't on me at that point. So yes, we went into movie quotes. And what was the first movie?
I believe the first one was Pulp Fiction, actually.
So Pulp Fiction was, of course, Jimmy. My that's the Quentin Tarantino character.
What kind of warehouse were you running?
He goes, oh damn, Jimmy, this is some good coffee. Don't tell me how good my coffee is, Julie. Okay, I'm the one that fucking buys it. All right. Now, Bonnie gets home in 15 minutes. You're gonna make some calls. You gotta get some people here. Then you do it, and you get the fuck out of my home. All right. Do I have a sign outside that says, and then that's the part, I'm not going to say it here. That's the part that probably wasn't appropriate for a public setting, I suppose.
Yeah, but as you pointed out to Ron, it was 30v2. So you were safe. Ron goes, the only people who count like that, Dave, are in Boston in the Northeast. Which just, isn't true. And then you did Pulp Fiction, you did American History X, you did True Romance, the famous Moore's speech.
Oh man, yeah, Des Hopper, Christopher Walken, your great grandmother fucked up.
Yeah,
that's right. That makes you part eggplant. Oh my god, that fucking scene is so classic. Again, these are movie scenes. I don't know why. It turned into inside the actor's studio with the Dave man, but I was more than happy to do it. Don't blame me. Blame. If they had asked me to do a fucking Natural quote or a goddamn Field of Dreams quote, I would have done so.
Absolutely. Departed even, because you raved about how much you loved The Departed in this episode. You would have done a great Departed quote.
Wow. So The Departed had probably, just come out, right?
Yep, and you made a statement if he doesn't win an Oscar for this or something like that. You were very fired up about Scorsese, I believe.
Scorsese did get his Oscar. He got Best Picture and Best Director for The Departed. I think that was the first. I think that was his first. I think that was when they finally rewarded poor little Marty Scorsese. They fucked him over on countless Casino, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, King of Comedy, so on and so forth. They finally made it up to little Marty.
Well, King of Comedy does come up later. We'll talk about that then.
Oh, good.
But my favorite part of this is the irony, because as you said, Anthony was instructed to come back with stories and describe what it was like going out with you.
But I got him back.
You did.
Boom. Producer extraordinaire. That's the key. No matter what kind of questionable racial scenes from Hollywood that we were doing in PJ Clark's, I didn't embarrass Anthony enough so that he would not come back to the show. That's the key.
Exactly. Now,
that's being a good producer, because it's horrifying as some of these scenes were to be doing them as loudly as I did. I would still turn to Anthony every 15 minutes. You're still coming to the show though, right? Like,
absolutely.
That whole True Romance thing is not good. You're coming to the show, right?
And I guess before we get to the Anthony part that I enjoyed, let me say this. To give you some credit, apparently Yeager was involved.
Not a shot that I like. I don't like any of the fancy bullshit. I like the Jameson or the Jack Daniels, and then the Guinness or the IPA.
Which is, that's how I know you. Either Jameson or an IPA. Guinness if it's an Irish holiday, something like that. But Melinda was there, and I guess she was into Yeager and had you doing Yeager shots.
Yeah, okay.
Yeager's a wicked drunk. Like, it's a different type of drunk than even just shots of Jameson.
They all are. Everyone says that. They all are. Being drunk, on vodka is so much different than, say, being drunk on champagne. Like, they're all different.
I was in college, and one of my buddies had me come visit him at his school for a weekend, and we watched the show Legit, and Jim Jeffries did a Jaeger bomb to start the show. And so that night when we went out, every 10 minutes I would come up to him and be like, Jim Jeffries shots. And we did probably 15 Jaeger bombs, which is Red Bull and Jaeger. And I don't think I've ever been so hungover. Like if I owned a gun, I would have just put myself out of misery. I would have gone full old Yeller. So I know what you're going through there. That's a different level of. But you did get very drunk. And as we learned, what happened was they kind of did to you what you do to newer people drinking, which is one person would do a shot and they'd go, Dave, you want to do a shot with me? And you go, yeah. Then the next person would go, you know what? I'll do a shot. Dave, you want to do a shot with me? And suddenly you're drinking with everybody while they're all having one or two shots.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, most of them didn't do any shots.
Let's be fair. Yeah. I mean, we know Sam doesn't drink.
I don't think Than was drinking. And Anthony was having beer for sure, but I'm not sure how many shots he was having.
No, and as we could tell listening to the episode, the two people who are two sheets to the wind are you and Melinda. And I got to be honest, the fact that you brought Melinda back might not have been a great producer move, but it was certainly a great move for you. So you were the only person.
It absolutely was. Anthony wasn't going to what? Melinda, you're his then girlfriend at the time. You're not allowed to come, but Anthony is. How is Anthony going to go to the Ron and Fez show if I fucking kick out Melinda?
I mean, you're the producer extraordinaire, not me. You would be the one who had to do that.
The producer says if Melinda's going to get Anthony into the building, then I want Melinda there. Because, again, it wasn't just, hey, Anthony, you're going to do the show. Then she would be like, oh, he's definitely doing it. You're going to do it, right? You have to do it. You can't let Roddy B down. So she would almost back up my drunken request, and she'd be like, he's going to do it. He's definitely going to do it. Anthony's not going to let down Roddy B. So no. I disagree with you. That's good producing because Melinda ensured that Anthony would show up to the Ron and Fez show. And that was my directive from Mr. B. Bring back Anthony. Done.
Absolutely. And I just was pointing out sometimes like a good metaphor might be like LeBron James and Bronny Jr., where you're like, we need LeBron. We'll take Bronny Jr. as well to keep LeBron. Right. Like, yeah. As good as Melinda was, Ron wasn't like, hey, Dave, you can come back if you bring Melinda. They wanted Anthony. She was there, and that's how it worked. I get that.
Of course. Yes, they want the radio star there, of course.
For you in particular, it was good because just to go back to the Billy Staples metaphor, the joke would always be they'd get Billy hammered, and everybody would make fun of Billy. Or they'd get, whatever producer hammered, and everybody would make fun of. But now there's two people. So you aren't kind of the lone drunk guy everybody's ganging up on. There's multiple people in the room was what I was getting at.
You mean me and Melinda?
Melinda, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, back I was saying what I found super ironic was at one point Anthony goes, and I'm just sitting here mortified as a guy gets up and is making these racial, sexist jokes. And it's just the irony of that. It's not lost on me that today.
I mean, sounds like there was a little sarcasm.
I think he was playing it up because again, he didn't really know you at this point. He even goes, this was my chance to get to know Dave some. He's new to the crew. I want to get to know him better. But if you think about like how Ron and Fez treated their drunk producers, that's what you would do. You'd get them drunk and then you'd throw them under the bus. So I think he's just playing ball.
Listen, don't blame me for these comments. Blame Quentin Tarantino, who did Pulp Fiction. Blame Ridley Scott. Or wait, was that the other Scott brother? Was that Tony Scott? Yeah, I think Tony Scott did True Romance. Okay, don't blame me for these things. Blame the writers and the directors of these fine movies, these Oscar-nominated films. Yeah, they're the ones to blame. I was just recreating these wonderful, magical moments of Hollywood in front of people. That's all.
Yeah, I thought it was very funny if you look at like Anthony's Twitter these days that he was worried about you being a little racy.
Oh, I get it.
But so you did get drunk. And at this point, it seems your plan, despite everything we've just said about how this never works out, is to go after work to visit Westside in Red Bank and try to win her back. How would you have done that?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen. I'm just being
clearly. And to be honest, I think they got you so drunk on purpose to keep you from doing that. Like
I would have taken the bus And again, this was how I commuted when I was living in Jersey. Took a bus out of the Port Authority, which is 42nd and 8th in New York, and then that takes you down to exit 109 off the Garden State Parkway, and then you take a cab, and I would have taken a cab and done some sort of drunken John Cusack thing, which wouldn't have worked out as well as, say anything, and instead would have had the cops called on me. 100%.
So the plan was to boombox.
No, not a boombox. Definitely go outside, but more of Davey Mack's got the boombox right here, brother. It's his mouth.
Okay. So you're just going to sing the song.
I was planning on doing the stand outside the bedroom maneuver, but the boombox, we come on. That's been done. Instead, it was going to be, come on! I'm sorry! What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Just at least come to the window. At least do that, you fucking bitch. This is such a mistake. You know who I was hanging out with? Anthony from the Opie and Anthony show, man. I'm a big star now, you fucking bitch. You treat me like this. Come outside. That's what it would have sounded like. I mean, really, you just heard a perfect recreation of me at certain moments in my life.
I've heard you at those moments. I thought you had been drinking. It's like, shit, during that break, did Dave get hammered? No, I get it. I was envisioning you maybe singing like Black by Pearl Jam outside of her window.
Why? She could empty canvas until she's real. I mean, why Black?
That part where he's like, I know you're going to be a son. Why can't it be mine? That part where.
This is the worst song ever. The song's about suicide. Fucking maybe pay attention to the lyrics in Pearl Jam music. You goddamn fucking Nickelback liking jive ass turkey.
Nickelback. Nickelback. That's where we go. There's so much in my musical library you could make fun of. Nickelback's not in there.
You like some of that shit.
You Harry Chapin,
the Nickelback Godsmack fucking.
Oh, I love Godsmack. Yeah, that would have been a good one to make fun of. You got
Nickelback's pretty close. All right.
Oh God, we're not here to debate music.
No, we're not. Let's get back into it, okay?
So the other theory that comes up during the segment that we hear is that you are intentionally putting yourself in a position. I think the term that the doctor who called in used was passively suicidal. Like you're not going to kill yourself, but you're looking to get into a fight or to make yourself hurt or to make everybody around you hurt like you, which is the exact opposite of any Davey Mack drunk experience I've ever had. Was this kind of playing it up for air? Like you weren't actually looking to get into rumbles or anything?
I wasn't. I mean, at this point, I don't think I was playing anything up for the air, but then again, maybe I was. Maybe, deep down, I knew, okay, Anthony's going to come here, and so maybe I should make a few incidents and stuff like that. There's a possibility that was going through my drunken brain. But then again, that's kind of like a bit of a mystery. But I'm certainly not usually someone like a fighting drunk. That's usually not me.
That's why it kind of took me aback a little bit, because you kind of lean into it when the guy suggests it and go, yeah, I guess that could be what's going on.
Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. That was an inaccurate assessment. That was a caller?
That was a caller, yeah.
Yeah, no, I bad diagnosis, Doc, because that's not who I. Now, the passively suicidal thing, I'm trying to examine that. I mean, maybe, I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to think about. But as far as the drinking it up at PJ Clark's, just going crazy. I mean, that's just having a good time that kind of turns into a wild time. And I'm not saying wild time like, oh, that's wild. I'm using that word properly there because it's a word that gets overused, and I know I've stated that, but that's where that word should be used.
Yeah, it's wild how crazy people get with the word wild.
That's what I hate. I just listened to an interview with this guy who created this show, Dark Side of the Ring.
Okay, I know
on
the
Vice.
show.
He gave an interview, a phone interview. He literally used the word wild like 30 times. Like every story was like, it's so wild to see like this thing. It's just like, I couldn't believe it. It's wild. And it's just like, dude, fucking get a thesaurus. Give me something. I want the word wild used in either nature, that the lions are in the wild, or you're having a wild time. Outside of that, don't use the word wild anymore.
No. I think, to be honest with you, Gordon Lightfoot, ooh, baby, it's a wild world. That's the last time it should have been used.
That's allowed, I guess.
Because he's talking like it's the jungle.
Yeah.
So you aren't passively suicidal, and that makes sense. Like, the only time I've seen you violently angry or trying to engage in an argument or fisticuffs is completely stone sober. Like, normally when you start drinking or smoking a little bit, you're Mr. Good Times.
Yeah.
So
yeah, usually, most of the time it's people who have fucked with me, or I thought they were fucking with me. Incidents on the road, getting cut off in Manhattan by a New York post office worker who, in my opinion, nearly caused a fight. So I get out of the car and start screaming at them, and we have a near match. Or
get out of the car, chase him down a city block, and then start screaming at him
with the baseball bat in my hand.
Bat, yeah.
Or Acme, where I go into Acme, and there's always some sort of issue with one of these either employees or there's always something. So that's when the anger comes out, not when it's partying.
No, and you do continue the party on air a little bit. They get you a beer, so you're having a good time. You're doing your movie quotes. You're telling everybody how much you love them, and everything seems to be going good. But you keep holding on to this plan that you're gonna go to New Jersey, and everybody's like, "That's a bad idea. You can't go this drunk." And you go, "That's what New Jersey Transit's for." And Ron goes, "Are you going to throw her in front of New Jersey Transit, Dave? What are we doing here?" But you could see that start to shift, like the mentality of people trying to be like, all right, we need to find something for Dave to do other than to go pursue this girl. At one point, Ron goes, "I've got 9 and 1 dialed, Dave. All I got to do is dial one more 1 because I'm scared of what you're saying here." And they're playing it up, but also kind of talking you out of it too, which is, I think, a sign of a great friend group. Even
I probably wasn't going to go after the initial, you know what, I should go. But then, like, once someone starts talking you out of it, you start going. Even when you're drunk, you're like, you know what, it's gonna take me 2 hours to get there. Yeah, they're probably right. Fuck it.
And
if I had gotten instant encouragement, I probably would have went. But
on air,
the fact that I got instant discouragement, man, I just probably like, you know what, I'll just stay here and keep on drinking anyway.
And before we play a little bit more audio, I guess my last question is, one of the things we see from the Ron and Fez show is it does seem like humiliating the producers a little bit, getting them drunk, exposing them, Earl's stalking Lily, all this stuff. That's what gets presented on air. But behind the scenes, like, I know you and me, you make fun of my love life on air sometimes, but you're one of my go-to guys, and you actually have my back. Is that how it was with the Ron and Fez show?
No.
I didn't know if that was the lesson they kind of handed down to you, where, yeah, we'll make fun of you because we do hear they're trying to help. Like, they got the 1-800-Flowers deal. You know what I mean? Like, again, is that for air, or they're
going to give advice to people's their people's relationships?
Not necessarily advice, but like the sentiment that gets presented is like they almost enjoy sabotaging what you have going on.
Correct.
Is that the reality off air? Or off air, do they actually care and they're not going to try to fuck you over or fuck up your situation? It depends
on the situation. But this was just ball busting on the air, having a good time. I don't think that they were overly concerned about it, but I won't say that they're cold about it either. They probably made sure that I wasn't going to go to the Port Authority, but again, it's not like I was going to drive or anything. Like, I had no car. So I had to use mass transit, train, and then get a cab from from the fucking bus stop on off of exit 109 on the Garden State Parkway. But the thing is, no, I mean, they would care, but they're not gonna waste. They're not gonna waste a ton of time like giving you personal advice. There's other stuff to do.
No, that makes perfect sense too. I just wasn't sure what the mentality was like that. And one last thing before we play a little audio, almost kind of like foreshadowing. You say you take New Jersey Transit there, and Ron goes, yeah, you're going to pass out and wake up in North Carolina. Which of all the places to pick out, North Carolina, where you would go visit your future in-laws eventually. Oh, I thought it was a funny point to pick.
Right after West Side would be the ex-wife who was living in North Carolina. That is weird. Whoa.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of crazy of all the states to pick.
Wow. Crazy, really, when you think about it.
Or did Ronnie B know? We'll let you guys determine as you listen to a little bit of audio. We'll be right back.
What a night. Ron and Fez show. From Opie and Anthony. Ant's sitting in with us tonight.
Yeah, hanging out.
This beautiful chick.
Having fun.
Than, your producer, is part of the drinking fun.
We were out.
And, you took out our guy, Eastside Dave, got him drunk.
First time also that we were kind of out and hung out. And early on in our relationship.
Right, work relationship.
I wasn't a big fan of Dave. You
Didn't
guys
like
all
him?
know that.
Yeah.
Didn't like him. I don't like a lot of the new guys that come in.
Always a problem.
It's like the Nom, you know? You didn't like when the new replacements came in because they were just dead meat, cannon fodder. You liked your veterans, your short timers. And when he came in, I didn't really like him that much. So I figured, let me get to know him a little bit and go out, see what he's all about. And it turned out he's a complete embarrassment to be around.
Sure, he is.
It was even less than you were expecting.
Even less. It was even more like caustic and dangerous. He will blurt out horrible, like racist, sexist.
But we had
things.
fun, Mr. Anthony.
Well,
we had
you
so
had
much
fun. I was petrified. There was a guy, and let me tell you something. I felt for this guy. He's a black gentleman, and just dressed to the nines. Like, probably struggled through a lot to get to the point he was at. Sitting in a nice place with his girl, and he's a businessman, and he's sitting there, and Dave just blurts out this awful line from, like, Mississippi Burning.
Gotcha.
Big deal.
And
big deal.
Big deal. And then,
Yeah, big deal.
and then
I'm quoting the film.
yeah, and the guy obviously
He doesn't know
heard it.
that.
The guy then stands up to leave, and Dave goes real loud. Oh, he's standing up.
God.
Like now it locks it into him.
Needed to point out to people who I was talking about. I said,
we talk about anyone.
it's the black guy who's standing up right now.
Right.
knew.
Earl, do you like hearing this stuff? Because it's racism, and he basically works for you.
Earl, I felt for you and all black people
You're
at that
half
moment.
black too, you know.
Well,
First time.
Sicilian.
It's
the Moors.
The Moors, you got that gene.
Your great grandma.
I'll take that Chesterfield now. Earl, none of this bothers you that you're...
This completely bothers me. For the what? Second time in 3 days he said things completely inappropriate.
Right.
And then he goes out. And he gets drunk, and then he hides behind Anthony. So
It
I was out with
It got even
BS.
worse. Got even worse. The guy stood up. He goes, "Oh, he's standing up." And then we all, I ducked under the tables. Like, I wanted to leave. I wish I could have been beamed out of the situation. But it's real life. I'm stuck there. And I go, be quiet. He goes, oh, he doesn't know I'm talking about one of them.
Oh,
he called him one of them.
He's not. I could tell he didn't have good hearing.
No.
Anthony!
Leave people alone.
Mr. Anthony.
Now,
You could hear
here's-
a cheetah.
Now, here's where I think you're at with this. You're almost suicidal. You got your heart broke, so you get drunk, and now it's step 3. How do I get my ass whipped?
No, I could give a crap if his ass got whipped.
Yeah.
I'd be cheering on the guy.
Sure.
But I don't want someone coming up to me and going, hey, who said that? And then you got to be a guy. If I'm sitting at the table, like, what are the rules? What's the rule, Ronnie? You're sitting at the table. Some guy you kind of know, mouths off.
Right.
And another guy comes over to kick his ass. Do you have to stand up for them because you're at that table? You're with them? Do you back off and look like a wuss? What's the protocol?
See, I'm from Philly. It's always 2-on-1. We don't know.
Right.
I have never been in a fair fight in my life.
God bless.
It's always me and my friends against somebody. Some poor soul.
May I just say, it wasn't anything personal.
So I have the feeling I'm tough, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always 7 or 8 against 1.
Okay, so then you're saying the whole table jumps in, gets it over with, sits down, finishes their drinks.
I know. My mother told me as a kid, never let anybody touch anybody you're near. So
Pull a Billy Bats on him.
Yeah, that's where we go. As soon as somebody hits the floor, the rest of us are over, just kicking.
Wasn't such a big thing.
No.
I like Patrick Ewing.
All right. Don't
well,
bring
you
that
just
up.
proved
He's my favorite player.
You just proved you're
in
an
NBA history.
great gentleman.
Your heart's broke, right?
Yeah, my heart's broke.
You're drunk. Now you're lashing out to...
Drunk as
Now,
heck.
Dr. Joe is on. He says he's a therapist. He wants to talk to you, all
I'd
right?
love to talk to him.
This could help.
Hopefully it's a Baker Act.
I hope he talks to me.
Dr. Joe.
Yes.
Hey, Joe. What do you know?
Hi, how you doing, guys?
Good.
I'm, as a concerned psychiatrist, calling from the Bronx. Graduated Einstein year 2000.
Let's go.
All right, whatever. All right, I got 2 radio shows, so I'm not impressed. I got things going for me, too.
Graduated Einstein.
Over the phone diagnosis.
Bagels.
At this point
They got a basketball team.
adjustment disorder with disturbance of conduct and depressed mood. And quite frankly, I think you guys should keep a close eye on him for the next 5 days, because although he may seem all giddy and happy and happy-go-lucky now, I couldn't agree more with what Ronnie said earlier, that he is potentially a little bit suicidal and looking for what we could call in the medical field passive suicidal ideation, where you're not necessarily going to do something to yourself.
Slow down.
Might be looking for something.
I can't understand what you're saying.
What could
You're
you follow
speaking
about
fast.
suicidal?
Stop talking quickly. I know you're a doctor.
All right, you're suicidal and drunk. That's what he's saying.
That guy was perfectly
Whatever. I am
coherent.
drunk and I want to throw myself in the bus. Big deal. Does that prove him right?
What?
Oh, no.
No.
You know what? He seems well now. I would keep an eye on him. This kind of trauma, this kind of damage to the heart.
My name is Dr. Joe. You should be like Dr. Hank.
From a guy that says Mr. Anthony, that's a real great statement there.
Dr. Kleinberg. Because you know how...
All right.
Would you stop?
Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe.
I'm just concerned about
Is this...
That's all. I'm just looking out for you.
Now, the main thing is people, they get irrational after their heart gets broken, right?
They can, and people can go into a major depression from an adjustment disorder.
Now, earlier today, you were very depressed, you said, day 2. Then you started drinking again. Now you forgot you're depressed.
Yeah, I forgot my
You're going to expect somebody who's gone through some kind of heartbreak to go on a binger. I mean,
slow down. All right, come on. You know the doctor's trying to make sense.
But,
Dr. Joe, don't you understand that I got a better doctor? His name is Anthony Cumia.
Yeah.
F you!
I'm writing you a prescription for Jägermeister.
F you, dude!
All right,
stop.
Stop. Don't say it again.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Doc. So what should we do? Should we tie him down, put a sock in his mouth? What do we do with him?
I don't think we need to restrain him at this point.
Yeah.
Except perhaps verbally, based on what Anthony was saying. He was saying outside, because again, I consider him, by saying these things, a danger to himself.
It's self-destructive behavior is what it is. Self-destructive.
He wants to get beat up.
Right. He wants the pain, but he doesn't want to inflict it upon himself, so he lashes out, hoping somebody will come up and punch him in the face. And it was almost me.
Yeah, we can arrange that.
I
so close. I'll oblige.
Or he was just so obliterated that he didn't care if someone came up and punched you, maybe even expecting
Sure,
to be
wanting it to happen, yeah. You're trying to destroy everything around you right now.
Exactly.
I agree with that diagnosis.
Because you want other people to feel your pain.
Right.
Exactly.
No, you know
Ronnie,
what,
right,
though?
Ronnie, you're really on this.
Yeah, I know. It's not like I haven't been alive. I understand. I've been through the world.
Dr. Ron, he was in pharmaceuticals for years.
Oh, yeah, it's self-taught. All right, thanks, Doc.
Right, I don't feel like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know, me and Mr. Anthony had cheeseburgers together.
Big ones?
Those cheeseburgers might as well have been engagement rings.
I know.
Right.
It's true.
Little cheese engagement rings.
You'll
Big
always
ones?
have ground beef.
Yeah. Were they big burgers?
No, mini.
Oh, mini.
Why is the
Listen.
thing... You know, wait a second.
You had me at the bun.
Let me talk for 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I love
haven't talked yet.
I love Ron Bennington,
All right,
Fez
stop
Whatley
it.
so much.
Stop it.
I really do. I
You're
love
not drunk.
them. Love them.
I'm not drunk, so this is uncomfortable for
But
me.
my new best friend is
Oh,
in the
geez.
studio, and we're going to
Yeah.
be at the Renaissance Fair
Oh, gee.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Whether it's there or not.
Farmingdale, New Jersey.
Go to the old boarded up Renaissance Fair until spring when they actually
And
show
his
up.
name-
you were taking me.
His name is Anthony Cumia.
All right.
And Melinda Cumia.
Mwah.
Once removed.
My lovely
And
wife.
my name from now on,
Yeah.
henceforth,
Yeah.
Eastside David Cumia.
He's been
Nice.
adopted.
You can have the last name because not for nothing. I'm sorry, baby, but I don't want that last
Oh.
name.
Not as long as my ex has it.
She still has
Oh,
a
she
Mrs.
kept it?
Cumia, so
Ah, she's using it. Actually, I'd welcome Dave to have it.
could you
if
take
the ex would give it to him.
Dave,
Could
you
we
can
David
trade?
Cumia. Sounds nice.
Dee.
Dee.
I wish you had a beep.
No, DC.
I'd say we could call my ex East Side Beep. Starts with a letter after B.
A lot of times,
And then
a lot of times I sat in the dark and thought, I'd love to be.
When they turn off your electricity, by the way.
Sitting in your darkness.
All right, hold on. Here's your friend Bobo. Hey, Bobo, what do you got, Bobo?
Hiya, buddies.
Hey,
And
buddy.
hiya, special guest stars.
Yeah.
hi.
I'm really concerned that Dave is careening headlong into a lost weekend.
What was your first clue, detective?
Yeah.
What should he do, Bobo?
Well, I was thinking of getting him to a meeting. Get him to an AA meeting. Like, change everything all at once.
Can't get him to a show meeting. How are you going to get him to an AA meeting?
It's true.
Oh,
you
my
get
God.
paid for that.
Guy comes in 45 minutes late.
Hello, my name's Dave, and I'm an alcoholic. No S.
He jumps around like a monkey. He loves it.
So, yeah, I don't think he's going to go, Bo.
Well, like, who's his favorite person in the world?
Anthony.
Tonight, at this
Yeah.
point, this minute, I believe it's either Mr. B or Mr. C or Fezzy.
Hey, screw you.
If you want to be, if you want to talk turkey here, my three favorite people would be obviously Ron, Fez, and Anthony. But honestly, if you want to talk about my top five,
All time?
the
Of
other
course.
the other two would be my father.
Oh, God, poor man.
Can I be serious here?
Yeah.
All right.
I can't tell you what a big mistake that man
Can
made.
you? Can you?
My father and Jimmy Buffett.
Buffett.
No, his father, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh!
Hey, I didn't know
That makes
that.
so much more sense.
Jimmy, don't listen to them.
Gee, now I feel bad for Opie.
We're not related.
Yeah, right?
He's got E-Rock, don't worry.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Well, you
Buffett
know-
is the parrot head, and he's a cardinal head.
All those guys are going to be at the St. Mark's Place Recovery House tonight, except for your dad. So you ought to go there.
I don't know what that meant. That weirded me out.
I know. I've been to St. Mark's, pal.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Well, it's not very nice.
The Step House? It's nice.
All right, Bobo, he's a little drunk right now.
Yeah, you got to keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm shooting over his head.
All right, let you go, pal.
Love you guys.
All right, see
Was
you.
that a Rolling Stones reference?
Yeah, it was.
You know why, Ron and B? Because Rolling Stones, they made this great song. I'm just waiting on the friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love, I've been zipping. And the whole thing was, this whole song, Ronnie,
What?
was filmed on St. Mark's Avenue.
Yes. It's all tying in
And
together.
then, at the end of the song,
Right.
they went to St. Mark's Bar,
Right.
which, that's it right there. And
Very good.
they went to St. Mark's Bar.
And the point is.
And the point is, then they drank, and you got to see Ronnie Wood, Keith Richards,
There you go.
Mick Jagger,
It's name dropping.
and who's the drummer?
Pete
no one,
Best.
no one ever remembers, do they?
Of course we do.
Who?
Charlie
Watts.
Watts. The
50
most.
50
Everyone
points
knows.
for Ron.
Everyone
No,
knows.
no,
I didn't know it was a
Ronnie got
competition.
This is not
Probably,
trivia.
excuse me,
The most well-known drummer ever.
excuse me, Mr. Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Ronnie got the 50 points, and I love you. Right now, I love you the best.
I'd rather
but
get the
Ronnie,
50 points and
All right,
he could have your
my,
love.
yeah, my chance for trivia now.
Yeah.
What rock star was married to Yoko Ono?
Lennon.
Yeah, you got it. We're going to do a thing
Lennon.
called obvious trivia.
Number one, baby.
Lenin, who brought communism to the Soviet Union.
All right, we got somebody right here that wants to bring up an Eastside Dave drinking story.
Love to hear it.
It's Bronx Johnny, Little Bronx Johnny. Hey, Johnny.
Wouldn't like.
Hey, what's up, boss?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Chillin', man.
Chillin'?
Me and Dave, once we went to PJ Clarkson, we just hanging out. Me, him, Dan, and Danny.
Yeah.
And Dave's kicking it back a little bit, a little too much, and then all of a sudden he sees a black guy. He's like, "Hey, it's kind of dark in here." So I was like, all right.
Stop it with this.
Can you believe? Yeah.
Look, now he has a smirk on his
I was
face.
talking about the lights.
As if we're bringing up witty lines.
Wait a second.
I got a great Dave story.
They were dimming the lights.
Yeah, so now to the point where
Who, the
I'm
dark
like,
people?
yo,
Right.
Whereas I'm just waiting on our friend Ronnie.
Yeah, should give him a little bit. So he does this kind of stuff all the time, Johnny.
Yeah, he called the dude an N. He said it really loud because everybody at the bar looked at him.
You are kidding me.
Dude,
I
he
did.
yelled the N-word out.
I did.
Why?
Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Before Bronx Johnny forgets, Than and Danny from O&A bet me $20 says you won't say the N-word.
Oh, let me tell you
Why?
something true. Yeah, they will instigate.
Right.
They will. And
That's not a good thing.
Absolutely true.
Sam was one of the biggest instigators, but Dan will also instigate.
I have no recollection of making.
Oh, my God.
Come on. Did Danny do it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm horrified, and Sam is throwing out, "Hey, you're into movie lines? How about we do one from Mississippi Burning, or any of the American History X? Do one of those." And he's just like, "Oh yeah, I got the line. I could do," and just goes into this racist tirade at full volume. And you sit there looking, going, "How does anyone do this? How do you do this in real
I got
life?"
a couple here on the curb.
I don't know how any of this is getting your girlfriend back or getting you started into a new life. None of that seems to be happening for you right now.
Really excellent point.
Thank you.
Made.
I mean, you're drunk.
Yeah.
You're belligerent. You're obnoxious.
Yeah.
And yet, I don't see the positive intent here. What are you trying to do?
Trying to say that I love you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That ultimately, it's about you. It's about me. It's about 1-800-Flowers giving you some flowers. It's about us.
1-800-Flowers.com.
No woman is going to be impressed with that.
It's about us reuniting and having a good time. There's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What? Where did that come from?
You say that to your girlfriend?
Wow.
Oh, that's what he calls a smackle.
Let me tell you something.
Time from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to come out.
The skyhook.
Hey, I could say a couple things about him.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Intelligent? No.
No.
What I was going to say is intelligent.
Yes.
Who are you, Joe Biden?
And brilliant.
All right, thanks.
Very
All
black.
right, thanks, Johnny.
Very black.
All right, boys. I'll catch y'all later, man.
Catch you later.
Nobody bet Dave
You
to
won't.
do anything.
What's that?
Nobody bet Dave to do anything.
I'm going to run into him uptown. I want to see Bronx Johnny around. All right, it's the Ron and Fez show. Anthony thought it would be real funny to take our producer out and get him drunk and fired tonight, so that's where we are with the show.
And I just want to say thank you, Mr. Anthony.
You haven't said that to him all night, so that's nice. I didn't even know
My
if you guys set
pleasure.
it off.
You never say thank you.
Unfortunately, you guys never ate earlier.
We did.
All right. Oh, you did?
Mini cheeseburgers.
Big ones?
Mini cheeseburgers. Why do you keep getting confused?
Sorry,
No, but run.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is radio and everything like that.
Do you really?
I don't think so.
Look at my hand here.
Yeah.
And for the people at home in the listening audience, I'm making a very small fist to show Ron it's a small mini cheeseburger, not a big one. Me and Anthony shared them together, and we were
Well,
chucking
I wouldn't go
cheeseburgers.
that far.
No.
I had my order of 3. He got his order of 3 on completely separate plates. We could have been at different
We shared
tables.
them.
And a Lady in the Tramp order of pasta.
Yeah. I pushed the meatball over with my snout. What? It was so romantic. And then Michael Caine came over, and they introduced.
Fantastic to see you, boys.
Dave introduced me to him. It was wonderful. Michael Caine, and then Mary Hart came over. The imaginary Mary Hart.
What a night.
It
That's
was
what
quite a
happened.
night. But again, like Ronnie said, I don't see how this is going to help. Right. Earlier, all you talked about was how you were going to leave, go directly to your girl's house, ex-girl's house, and patch things up. But the condition you're in now, there's no way you are going over there and making an impression that she is going to say, yes, I want you back.
That's what the New Jersey Transit is for.
All right, hold on.
You're going to throw her in front of a train?
They're not in charge of that.
2.5 hours of sweetness and runaway dreams.
You're going to fall asleep and wake up in North Carolina. Now, here's the other thing, Dave. Why did she break up with you? Because you what? Bring your personal life to the air. And now for the last 48 hours, you've been talking about her and your personal life for 48 straight hours.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
And exposing yourself for the type of person you are.
Yeah.
Headphones are impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else is wearing them fine.
Right. The hardest thing.
Whatever.
They go over the ears.
Put your ears on the wrong side.
What?
That's all.
Fine. You know what?
It's backwards.
People want to talk trash, but you know what? It's like Elon on Top Chef. I'm going to, in the end, make a steak that cuts the best.
Don't bring it.
It's called Bravo.
You do not want to bring up Top what?
Chef.
Oh, no.
That's the hard thing.
You know
why would you?
I
The
apologize
password
for that
is-
right there.
Yeah, good.
And you know why? Television in general, terrible.
Yeah.
The greatest things are Opie and Anthony's show.
Thanks.
6 to 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Ron Fez show.
Only 6 to 9.
And all these shows in between. Too.
9 to 12.
I just didn't memorize it. No.
Yeah.
All the shows.
We got to take another break.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do this. Seriously, let's do this break thing. I'm ready.
He was all
Like he's ready to lift.
like you were going for a rumble. Let's go. I got my switchblade. It's on.
He heard break and thought we were leaving a huddle.
All right. Let's do this, man. Let's do the break. All right, we got it. We're right back with more drunkenness. It's the Ron and Fez show. Yeah, it's the Ron and Fez show. Ant's hanging with us tonight.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks
His
for having me, guys.
lovely girlfriend Melinda's here also, and
Been
they
hanging out.
Thank you.
so nice you guys were to take our producer out and get him drunk off his ass.
Get him hammered before showtime.
Yeah.
And I cannot say enough how much.
Well, you've tried.
Yeah, you really have.
For someone who can't.
Yeah, you've sure been babbling.
Now, you guys are all going out drinking after the show tonight, too, right? You going to Bar 9?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
You're
Going to Bar 9. That's on 9th Avenue between 53rd and 54th Street.
Is Brother Joe going to be there playing like the old days?
Actually, I wish.
Yeah.
Brother Joe is, boy, the direction has changed with him.
Yeah.
We used to all gather at Bar 9, and he would play songs. We'd all get up and sing like old
Be
songs.
great, yeah.
Allman
Even Jay
Brothers
Moore
songs.
sang.
Yeah, Jay Moore got up. Stephen Lynch.
Adam Ferrara.
Broadway star Stephen Lynch.
Eastside Dave
from the
sang.
Broadway production of The
Music
Wedding
on,
Singer.
honey.
Sure.
He, he would sing, and we'd have a great time. But Joe has kind of moved on. He went to a U2 tribute band where he is the Edge character, and they got a Bono thing. But it even got worse. He's now in Vegas doing this Vegas show at the Imperial with his U2 band, tribute band. So he was booked there, and it sounded all well and fine. He gets there. It's for a month. He's got to do this. It opens up with a Marilyn Monroe act. Then his band comes on. Then an Elvis impersonator. And then at the end, all of them have to come out and do a little Elvis-type dance. And my brother's telling me this, and I'm just like, you sellout.
I mean, sellout's not
son
even
of
a
a
word,
bitch.
yeah.
It's so beyond sellout. You Vegas schlock.
Right.
Garbage. And he told me how much he was making, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous money
good.
when you do those things.
Yeah, you're selling your soul to do that. Because he's there, and he says they hand them all plastic microphones at the end that don't work. They're just props. And you stand behind the Elvis, and you have to do his Elvis moves.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, wait, you're doing this? You're doing this. It's a U2 band, so some guy that looks like Bono is behind dead Elvis, and next to Marilyn Monroe, bopping to an Elvis song. He told me it, and he's doing it for a month. He's out there for a month.
Bono is going to feel so old when he finds out that this is all being
that
put
there's
together.
Tribute bands in his name.
Yeah.
If I was Bono, I would make a point when I'm not touring, to go to every tribute band that's playing, go to the club, and just make the singer look stupid. Just go, you want to see Bono? Here's Bono. I'm Bono.
Not for
Now
nothing.
follow that and leave.
No, not for nothing. Joe's new guy
Is
so Bono.
Yeah, but you know something?
I'm not just saying that.
It
because
ain't
he's your brother.
Bono.
Right.
No, it is.
Bono ain't in Vegas rocking behind Elvis.
Baby, you know me. I am such a fan of you two, and I have been for decades.
Me too. Dave's a fan of me. Everyone's a fan.
Yeah,
oh,
sure.
you too.
Everybody-
I thought you meant me too.
But, you know,
You've been for 7 years, honey pie.
I still miss the first Bono.
Right.
And are those guys still not friends again?
There have been 47 Bonos in this band.
Right.
It's really gotten bad. Yeah, my brother's gotten to the point where it's just a Bono assembly line. It's like the Matrix. He clones Bonos, and then they break him out of the pods, and they put him in the band.
Is it the guy from Unforgettable Fire now?
Yeah, it was, of course, the bands have to be the name of the albums. And
Right.
stuff.
I gotta say that
He's the best.
was the best.
He's very good. But,
Since I've been before I met you. Oh my God, I was such a fan of his.
but the Bonos in my brother's bands don't last. They last. People with pancreatic cancer last longer than Bono acts in my brother's band. The guy rules with an iron fist, and he's the Edge. Who knew the Edge had the power? Jesus. In Vegas, rocking.
Your brother's a perfectionist that I
Yeah.
love
Ronnie?
to death.
Ronnie?
The website is not you2, by the way, .com.
Can I,
Yeah, not you two.
Ronnie, may I talk about Brother Joe for a second?
Yeah,
well.
sure you
Drunky
can.
Go ahead,
Drunk,
Junkie.
Man.
The last 2 times Brother Joe played at a little place called Bar 9.
Little place. Little club by the name of Bar 9.
This place is between 53rd and 54th and 9th Avenue. I do believe they're having a listening party right there from ronfez.net. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yes, they are.
This place, Brother Joe, actually learned the chords for Rawhide because I can sing Rawhide perfectly.
No, you can't. You can't.
Perfect.
No.
You can't sing Rawhide.
Perfectly.
No.
Perfectly.
Let me hear.
Rollin', 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 keep them doggies rollin', keep them doggies rollin', rawhide.
Is that the doggy with the peanut butter or the jelly? What'd you use?
Hail them forever.
Keep them rolling.
Wishing my gal was by my side.
Drunk.
All the things I'm missing, good vittles, love, and kissing.
Vittles.
Oh, waiting at the end of my life.
Do you remember Joe Evans?
That's your life.
Hit him up, hit him up. Move him on, move him on. Hit him up, rawhide. Cut him out, ride him in, cut him out, cut him out. Ride him in, rawhide.
All we did was cut him out.
Why are you waiting to the end of your life for vittles?
Vittles.
You should be able to have vittles every day.
Because that's what
You're not
Brother
gonna-
Joe told me to wait for.
I Vittles?
He told me.
You weren't there, Dave.
And Brother Joe used to say, "You're like Simply Red." Simply Red.
Yeah, you're simple and you're all red all over.
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
I don't know the exact words, but I don't think it's in cut him out, 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 cut him out.
I
Rawhide.
didn't say that.
Earl,
I didn't say it.
I'm
Did you
starving.
say
We got
that?
any Vittles back there?
I'm starving too.
Say it. I said.
Cut him out. Cut him out. Cut him out. Cut
I
him
didn't
out.
say it.
That was the waitress earlier.
Keep
Cut him
moving,
off.
moving,
Cut him off.
moving,
Cut him
keep
off.
Going, keep the doggies moving, rawhide. When they say whatever, keep the doggies by my side. Run him in, hold him out, cut him in, call him out, rawhide. Put him in, pay him out, pull him in, take it out, pull him in,
right.
rawhide.
Take it out.
He said pie.
Rawhide.
You can't put it in and take it out in rawhide. You
Take it out.
Yeah.
That was from
Don't
Brokeback
change
Mountain.
the lyrics, Ronnie B.
At one point, he sang "Deal 'em in."
I'm all in. Deal him out.
Big deal. The guy who wrote
All
the
right.
song is a Card Sharks fan.
All right. You okay? You did a real good job with that. Yeah.
Thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie, I have a
That
second
was,
verse
as he
for
said,
you.
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, you got a second verse.
I think,
verse.
No,
All
I
right,
think
same
I
as the
heard
first?
something.
No, it's not the same.
Okay.
Was that it?
Can I
Yeah.
go with my second verse?
Yeah,
now?
second verse.
Same as the first.
Keep
I'm
moving,
entering.
moving.
Oh.
Though they're disapproving, keep them doggies moving. Right. Don't try to understand them. Just rope and throw and brand them. Soon we'll be living side by side.
It's all sensitive.
My heart's calculating. My true love is awaiting.
My horse is calculating?
Waiting at the end of our life. Move him on, hit him up, move him on, hit him up, rawhide. Cut him out, run him in, cut him out. Ride him in, rawhide. Yeah!
All right, let's.
And Brother Joe. And I would like to say this. Brother Joe, from To You. Me and you, baby.
It's a very drunken show tonight. Ron and Fez
Hey,
show.
Joe, you want Bono? I can sing Bono.
Oh.
But let's get back
Where
to.
the streets have no name.
All right, stop that.
Oh, now this is sacrilege.
Streets
All right,
had no name.
Go back to your second verse. What were you trying to do? Were you trying to understand them? Start from the beginning, nice and slow.
Don't try to understand them. Just rope and throw and brand them. Soon we'll be living side by side.
Who? You and the cattle are living side by side?
Yeah.
That's what he wrote in his composition book. That's how he's going to handle his chick.
That's the point, Ronnie.
Don't try to understand him.
I mean,
just throw and rope and brand him.
All due respect to my new best friend, Mr. Anthony. He clearly doesn't understand about the wildlife, man.
You're calling your girlfriend fat again. You're saying you want to brand your girlfriend so she's a cow.
Because she's a cow. And by the way, Dave, if I may just clear you up on a couple of things.
Yes, new best friend.
I was brought up, formative years, my teen years were spent in Southern California, very equestrian city of San Juan Capistrano, where I owned a horse. I did ride, I did brand, I did rope, I did bull riding. Back when I was a kid, so I do understand that whole thing, but I understood nothing of your song.
Oh, what the heck?
I don't know. Cut him in, cut him out, stick it in, take it out, whip him out Wednesday.
Whip it good.
It was whip it.
Yeah.
He put on the Devo hat halfway through that song.
Dem's the lyrics. Don't dump out of it because I'll say this.
Yeah.
Heck.
All right,
Hey,
heck you.
Easy.
Hey, stop.
Easy.
Heck you.
Easy. You've been drinking. Here's your buddy, Foundry Music, Jeff.
All right,
Wants
let's
to
go.
say-
Ah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, my love, my darling, I hunger for your touch.
Now he's gonna get me worked up. From
Dave,
Ghost.
with your looks and your personality and your talent, you'll get a girl in no time, man. No time. And tonight, I'm going to get you drunk. We're going to sing songs. We're going to have a good time. We're going to forget all about this girl.
You're a little late with the get him drunk part.
Yeah, right. That'll be the least amount of money you've ever spent. Bar 9, go over there, Jeff. He's looking
Yeah,
for
everyone
you.
come on down. Bar 9 tonight. It's going to be a
All
good
right.
time.
And Aunt, you're going to be there tonight?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, this is
I'll
a huge,
hang out.
this is a gigantic mistake.
Friday night.
My darling.
Yeah.
Nice. What's that?
Sweet love.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Here?
No, you can't. You just got us dumped out. Jeez.
Ow.
Your touch.
Earl, turn the CD off.
Jesus. To me. But, no, you know what? One of the people who I can do Roddy V.
Who's that?
And I'm not just joking around here.
No.
Everyone thinks I'm always kidding.
Yeah,
kidding
we
around.
know. We know that. You're the master of comedy, we
Right.
call you.
I have the exact same vocal range as Sam Cooke.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same.
I was thinking that
vocal
earlier,
range.
yeah.
And the weird thing about it is, everyone always talks about Motown, and no one ever talks about Sam Cooke. Why? Was he
What?
not in Motown, or?
Well, he was
what's
actually a little before.
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
reason then.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's not from Motown.
All right.
Where's he from? Down south, right, Earl?
Yeah, I think he's a.
And he
Georgia
died
boy.
early 60s, mid 60s?
62 in LA.
62, yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Look
think
at
64,
Earl
I'm
with
sorry.
that
Yeah, he
knowledge.
knows everything.
64
God, that
in
is
LA.
Yeah,
amazing.
64.
You should do a show, Earl.
Yeah.
Well, slow down.
You know what? You should call it My Generation. Oh, this is great. Stalker Patty's getting a show and you don't have one.
Yep, Stalker Patty. Stalker Patty pitched the show on
Yeah.
satellite radio earlier today, and she's going to get a spot. Going to get a spot on the channel for an hour. She wants to do a whole show called My Generation, based on the 60s, because she grew up in the 60s and wants to do a lot of talk
People
about.
try to get us
Exactly.
down.
No, they don't. Why doesn't she call her show The Foundling? I think more people.
Who would not want to hear that?
Yeah.
The story of a baby left at a diner
Now,
by her mother.
Now
As
let's
an
see what other tunes can be found here.
Yeah.
It's just old found tunes that no one wanted.
Tune in next week for another episode of The Foundling.
The Foundling.
What will the Foundling find?
She said she was, left at a foundling center. She was left at a diner, and they took her to the foundling center. And I just picture, like, Butch and Spanky
Right.
and all them, like, hey, we gotta get to the foundling center and get her, guys.
I hate gruel.
Go chase yourself.
Why you? All right, Dave, you're going to hang out with the boys tonight. You're not going to go to Jersey tonight.
Yeah, what about Jersey now?
Yeah.
You want to hang out at Bar 9. Who wouldn't?
A little
It's
bit,
going to be
yeah.
a big party down there.
Sure.
So you're thinking
Yeah,
a little
drink
at
a little
Bar
bit.
9.
A little
You work
Bar
up
9.
some courage. Take some notes in your notebook.
Yeah.
And then head over there and with some authority. But nothing that would maybe get a court order against
Right.
you. Kind of
Why
get
don't
her
wait
back.
for the daylight? Wait for the
girl
daylight and
Wait.
sobriety.
No
Good
offense, Ronnie B or Fezzy W, but
Right.
when new best pal
Yeah.
Anthony
Thank you.
talks about it like that, it makes it clear. So I am going to go to Bar 9, just with my new best pal,
All right.
and I would like to share potato skins with new best.
All right, hold on.
Hey,
Sounds fair.
Gross.
what are we going out?
Here's Jeff has something to tell you. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little wordplay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, we're going to do East Side Dave,
Yeah.
West Side, Suicide, Homicide.
Well, probably should have did homicide first, but other than that,
Yeah.
it was, it could have been good.
Kind of like the jumble.
Yeah, think a little bit.
Nice try.
I don't understand the question.
This wasn't a question.
Not a question.
It was a statement
Look,
based
the
completely in
things
fact.
that I
It's a
said
prediction.
Don't play your mind games.
You want to try and talk to me about
Alright,
1066, the Norman Conquest? You talk to me about that.
The Norman
Oh
game.
my God!
What do you?
Hush.
Just because you played Age of Empires, I love that game too. No history because of it. That's great. They used a catapult.
When are you going? Do you know yet? When are you going to cross the river to the other side?
I was gonna go
after your
after the
Jersey
show.
girl. When are you going after that Jersey girl?
I was going to go after the show tonight as soon as the show ended, but I decided to delay it for a couple hours.
Well, get some
Sure,
vittles
smart.
first.
Very smart.
I want to go to Bar 9 to
Yeah.
meet the Ron Fez folks at Bar 9, between 53rd and 54th and 9th Avenue. And that's what I'd like to do. And then me and Anthony are going to go down together.
No.
And we're just going to drive.
Could you put it in another term? I really don't like the way that sounded.
No, I mean, we're
I
gonna,
didn't see a thing wrong with it.
We're going to go down to New Jersey together.
Oh, wait a minute. Now you're talking kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a little busy. I can't. We can hang out like at Bar 9
You
and stuff.
said
But
you were going to give me a ride.
No, I said I was going to give you a ride.
You said you were going
I
to give me a
didn't-
ride. Well, you're
She was
hooked
being-
up
I
with
didn't
Anthony.
drive
she
here.
was being a smart ass.
And I was lying, remember?
Yeah, I
Oh.
can't. I would love to, see it and videotape it because I'm sure it's going to be hysterical. But I'm a little busy. After Bar 9, it's going to be back to the room, and then, I'm going to be leaving the city tomorrow morning.
Where are you
Very
going to
early.
go? By- by-
Where are you off
my
to?
sprawling suburban estate.
No, you know why? You know why? Because honestly,
downtown to-
just hear me out for a second.
I'll hear you out.
I'd love to
I wish
go-
I was hearing you out the door, leaving, but
Me and you?
yeah, me and you.
And Melinda. Mohegan Sun.
I'm sorry, he just wants you and him.
Gambling.
Who's bringing the money?
He
My
wants-
dream
he
is-
wants just the two of you.
My
I will
dream.
step away.
No, you're allowed. You're allowed. Come on.
My
Oh, I'm
dream
allowed.
is Mohegan Sun with Dave drunk off his ass, sitting anchored at a blackjack table, hitting on 12 and 13s when the dealer's showing 4s, and just had the table wanting to kill you.
Dave, I know better than that. Come on now. Don't eat that. It's on the floor.
Mohegan Sun.
yeah.
He's eating food off the floor.
Dave,
now.
here's what you got to remember too. For everybody else, the party ends. You're the one going out. You're the one who's afraid to sober up.
Once the party ends, the reality.
Yeah. And look face to face with your life of loneliness from this point on.
Prozac? Anybody? Prozac?
That's absolutely true. Now,
Please.
What do you need?
Not you, Fezzy. Come on now.
one thing that I'd like to do after me and Anthony go to Mohegan
Please say
Sun
shoot yourself.
Saturday,
Please say shoot yourself. Please say what? What do you want to do?
I want to either Mr. A
Yeah, sure.
or Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
Can I come over Super Bowl Sunday?
Super Bowl Sunday is your time with Anthony.
Okay.
Well,
We
let
don't
me tell
have
you
a TV.
something.
We
That's
don't have a
fair.
TV.
I don't own a
I'm
TV.
gonna bring
We are actually.
Steakums.
No TV.
I have 2 boxes of steak.
Dave, can I be completely honest with you and with other people?
I love old steakums.
I never said this before to anybody, but recently things have changed in my life.
Okay.
I am Amish now. I've taken the Amish religion, so I can't
Really?
watch television. I can't
me.
use any machinery around my house or anything. So Super
right.
Bowl's out, my friend. I'm sorry.
Okay, how about this? Then if That's impossible. You want to come over to my house?
No.
Yeah, it's
the dirt floor basement apartment in Queens.
You really can't capture the magic of the Super Bowl unless you see it in black and white.
Like the old days.
Queens is stone's throw from Long Island.
I'd rather it be a mortar shell.
His
but-
TV is so old right now.
Stone.
If you watch the Super Bowl with him, you'd be watching the Packers and the Chiefs. How's the signal finally getting here?
You're just the rabbit ears. You hear Joe Willie Namath predicting a win.
Another great game for Bot Star. 2 touchdowns. Come on. Hey. No, honestly, Mr. Anthony.
Yeah.
We're buying tonight.
Although
Let's have fun.
I'm
Let's have
honored
fun.
by the
Let's do
invitation.
it.
I have to turn it down.
Because
Dave.
we no longer live on Long Island. We now live in
It's a small
California?
place. Yeah. I commute
San Diego?
every day. It's
Ohio.
a private jet.
Ohio?
Far.
Takes a helicopter.
It's just lying.
It's very
Lying,
far.
because I've seen
Nonsense,
your
Dave.
beautiful house, by the way.
No, you haven't.
Oh, did saw through Pal Talk,
hey,
I think.
Let me just tell you
It's
this.
a prop. It's a facade, which means false front.
I've seen your beautiful place in Pal Talk.
You ever see Universal Studios tour where they drive around and then the back is just
Yeah, the
2x4s?
shark.
That's my house. The front looks nice, but it's all propped up with 2x4s and there's lighting equipment and gaffers back there. It's a facade.
Say it ain't so, Mr. Anthony.
And if we go around this corner, you'll see the house that Leave It to Beaver was filmed in.
It's 3/4
Say it ain't
bottle.
so, Mr. Anthony. Can I come along?
You know I ain't got no place to go.
I ain't got nowhere else to go here. I'm a cripple orphan, I tell you.
There is one way you will get in my house. Consists of 2 words. Home invasion. And
He's wrong
believe
color,
me,
baby.
I'm all ready for that. Well, if he hooks up with some of the people he was showing love for tonight.
Right.
True.
And let me say this: you can also get too white in this world, and then it starts to make us nervous.
I found some more rounds, you know.
You almost come around full circle.
Sure.
And I'm good at wearing masks. I'm just going to say
Well,
that.
I've heard. I've
No,
heard.
you haven't.
Why? What are you?
What are you
What
saying?
I don't understand.
When it
wear-
gets cold, he wears a pullover wool mask.
I wear
Okay.
ski masks because it's windy. Hello.
Oh, hello.
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 Whatever.
Oh. Everyone knows it's windy,
Hey,
but
by the way,
Yeah.
hey, Ronnie.
Yes, Dave.
Ronnie.
Yes, I'm here. You don't have to say my name every time. I'm
You're
here
looking
with
right
you.
at him.
Nets down. Nets are losing.
All right, brother.
The perfect
wow, that was a
weekend.
sharp turn.
All right.
Hey, Ron, let me just tell you this one thing real quick. Guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something for the Free FM audience.
Okay.
Eyebrows, hair, Nets will win the Eastern Conference this year. In other words, the Nets will be in the finals. Otherwise, hair and eyebrows come off.
How many times have you shaved your head in the last year?
About 3 times.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Can I say something about
yeah.
that? Because I know nothing of basketball.
Do you think it has
but
something to do with fish?
I turn on the fishing nets.
Yeah.
I turn on the radio every morning while I get ready, and I barely hear anything. But I've heard the Nets lose a lot.
Yeah, they have.
Is that what's happening with the Nets?
They are.
Yeah.
Because even I, as somebody who knows nothing of basketball, knows the Nets kind of suck.
They're
And
playing.
You're betting everything.
They're playing very poorly,
Right.
Mr. Anthony. But what my point is, they will turn it around.
Okay.
The New Jersey / Brooklyn Nets are going to do it for New York City and the metro area.
You're going to be at the championship watching the Nets with your best gal by your side after
No.
that's all patched up, full
Listen.
of money from winning
Oh,
the
gal.
lotto.
Everybody listening to the radio right now, the Knicks, old
Both of
school,
yous.
old news, old time papers.
Both of you.
With this going on.
If only
Jesus.
that wasn't true.
Believe me,
It's-
we're in the same boat.
It's Nets time, baby. It's Jason Kidd. It's Vince Carter. We're talking Richard Jefferson. We're talking Chris Stitch.
All right.
We're talking NBA time.
Please.
Okay, you're a
You're
little
talking.
drunk.
Yeah, I am.
We are back. And it turns out the only person worse at relationships than Davey Mack is intern Rob.
Oh yeah, Bobby Tamburo.
Piece of shit. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about your experience. And what we hear in this next transition is more of the fans trying to help, even if they're not being direct about it. One guy calls in Sal, I believe, and invites you to Bar 9 because that they're having an after party show. Everybody says they're going, so they're trying to keep you from going to New Jersey. It feels like he's like, Dave, you got to come out. We'd love to have you drink.
Fucking A, let's go to Bar 9. Let's do it. Let's get fucked up and smell like cat piss all evening.
is that your least of all the Ron and Fez regular hangouts? Would you say Bar 9 was at the bottom, or how would you rank them?
No, Bar 9. That might be at the top. Just don't know how Bar 9 was chosen for the place to go, because it did have 4 or 5 cats that pissed all over the couches. So when you sat on the couches, you would really smell the cat piss.
And you
but
want that.
It was always a great time because it was like every other Tuesday, I believe. Every other Tuesday, people in New Jersey and New York would go to Bar 9, and I made a point of going to Bar 9. By the way, this is before I worked on the show. So I made a point of going to Bar 9, but I was working in radio. I had been working in radio between 90.5 The Night and Westwood One for 2 years before Bar 9 Tuesdays came up. And I said to myself, I says, I'm going to every Bar 9 event every other Tuesday from Jersey, because that's how you make relationships, because I want to get in the game.
Yeah.
And that literally was a plan of mine. So I showed up. Didn't mean I didn't get shit-faced. I did. I had a great time. But I would go there, have a great time, talk to the people, get to know the people, the Ron and Fez folks, but also Ron and Fez themselves, because they would go themselves. Lo and behold, 2005 comes along. There's an opening for the show. Now they know the Dave Man. They're like, and I go, I'm going to submit my shit. They're like, go for it. We like it. So boom. You know, people always think, oh, bro, I went to every single Bar 9 every other Tuesday, mainly as a career move. Trust you me. That's what I did.
And it is very smart. Like, that's what they want. They want people to hang out, to be a part of the show, to understand the culture. Like, I remember when you let me come hang out for the Eastside Dave show, the week I had to prepare, I went back and watched all the old Eastside Dave episodes just so I knew what the context of the show was, let alone getting to hang out, know all the fans, understand some of the inner workings behind the scenes already.
And then look what happened. You became a producer on the #1 show in compound media history, as reported by John Serino and Garrett Andritz, the Eastside Dave show, the #1 viewed show most weeks. Certainly the #2 show in terms of views and popularity, better than every other show except for Anthony's show. Although plenty of times we also beat Anthony's show in the views department, as told to us by Garrett and John. Again, the two guys who had the backstage access.
Numbers. Yeah.
They had the numbers. So just so you fucking know, you fucking liar. That's all. Not you, Robert.
I was like, wait, when did I lie?
I was to any of the fucking douchebag stalkers who still try to, you know, I implore all Eastside Davidians, if you see someone fucking with me, even if I don't see them, just really try to ruin their lives for me, please. Thank you.
And he doesn't mean me. I'm never actually fucking with him. It's all a work.
No, right.
Kind of like you and the pizza.
Yeah.
But speaking of fans who are a regular part of the show, the next person who calls in to try to, quote, help you, end quote, is Bobo. Not to be confused with Bobo, our friend. And
yeah, there's so many Bobos on radio shows. You do have to be specific. Howard Stern had a Bobo. Ron and Fez had a Bobo, which was this big guy, kind of biggish, portly gentleman with, the balding head, a mustache, and he played ukulele and guitar.
And started doing acid at like 7, right?
Yeah, kind of like a hippie. There was like a hippie, like a, I don't know, David Crosby type of look to him, okay. or maybe a Wavy Gravy if you're into fucking your 1960s hippies. That's what this Bobo was, as opposed to the Daniel Curlin Bobo, who we all know as well.
And if you don't know our Bobo, just think of the typical Mets fan. That's what he looks like. But
our Bobo's a gem.
One of the best. But Bobo tries to trick you into going to an AA meeting He's like, I think we need to get you into rehab because you're looking at getting a Baker's, what is it called, where they mandate you go to psychiatric hold for 72 hours?
Jesus.
A Baker mandate?
Maker's
like
Mark. I'm familiar with that. That's a nice brand of whiskey.
Yeah, we know you're familiar with Maker's Mark. We heard the
I
episode.
don't know what the hell you're saying.
I don't, whatever it is, it's an order from a judge that you have to be held for 72 hours. And he's like, I think Dave's cruising for one of those. Let's get him to an AA meeting. And then he asks who your heroes are. And you go, your dad, Ron, Fez, Anthony, and then Jimmy Buffett is your last hero.
That's tremendous. See, I'm totally fucking around.
That's classic radio.
I mean, come on. That's why, like, some of this you take with a grain of salt because, okay, this, like, I was doing all this shit because you have the witnesses. So I was clearly doing this shit and acting out and being fucking insane at the place at PJ Clark's and so on and so forth. But there was a little bit of a performance element involved because, I mean, I do like Jimmy Buffett. He's a guilty pleasure that I certainly enjoy. But one of my heroes would be going a bit too far.
I just thought it was funny because you were hammered. I think you were playing up the parrot head image a little bit. Like, oh, yeah, I love this guy.
No, I do love Jimmy Buffett.
Changes in attitude. Changes in
he
latitude.
Went to Paris looking for answers, questions that bothered him so. Oh, I could just sing. I could just enjoy it. After this show, I'm thinking I'm going to do some nice house cleaning, and I'm going to put on the Jimmy Buffett full max.
Come Monday, it'll be all right.
It'll be all right. Of course, cheeseburger in paradise. I like mine with lettuce and tomato. 57 and French fry potato. But I also like it. She got fins to the left, fins to the right, and you're the only girl in town. Oh man, Jimmy Buffett, let's go.
Don't know.
I don't know where I'm gonna go, and the volcano blows, Mr. Utley. I don't know. Oh God. I am definitely listening to Jimmy Buffett later.
It's going to be a parrot head afternoon for the Tales from the Satellite audience.
Windows open, a little spring cleaning down here in Jersey, Jimmy Buffett full max.
Nothing wrong with that.
Just so all of the neighbors go, we really have to get him the fuck out of here.
They unify with the landlord against you. So Jimmy Buffett, guilty pleasure, we obviously overlap on there.
Great.
What happened with the 1-800-Flowers? Did Claire get flowers every day leading up to Valentine's Day? Was there something nice? I know it's a radio bit, but did it actually happen?
No, I mean, I gave a couple bouquets were sent from 1-800-Flowers,
but not like the way they presented it on air was almost like 14 days of gifts leading up to a big climax.
No, that definitely didn't happen. That would have freaked her out.
That's kind of why I was asking. Like,
yeah,
it'd be a little weird.
Days of gifts, like that would have been. I think I sent a bouquet. Honestly, just
that makes sense. And even Anthony and Melinda kind of mocked you for that. Like, it would be no effort on your part if the radio advertiser did. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't thoughtful or anything. So that does make me feel a little bit better.
It's thoughtful to me. I could have not done it. What if I didn't do anything?
Probably would have been better for
bullshit.
Now, we obviously, if you're a fan of the show, know you guys didn't get back together. At what point did you realize that was going to be the case? Because clearly in this moment, you're still like, I'm going to get her back.
I mean, you just move on. You just do whatever. You just move on with your fucking life. I don't know if I just like I didn't have some sort of epiphany. I don't remember. It's just like, oh, fuck it. Fuck it, man. Just do my thing. Do Ron and Fez Mondays through Fridays, and then have a nice alcohol and Mario Kart weekend, you know, and then go back to work on Monday through Friday, and then booze and Mario Kart, and just
Not
enjoy
much has
yourself.
changed.
Very little has changed.
Yeah, and that's what I love about you.
I'm still one of the premier Mario Kart players on the planet. In fact, in case you're wondering, you want a status update, I play as Palpatine, by the way, online. So if you ever see Emperor Palpatine, it just says Palpatine. But that was me. I created him. And I'm up to 12,000 online points. This puts me at the top of the tops with all of the others. Okay, this puts me in the elite category for Mario Kart.
And I would say just as a human being. I think you're an elite human being, Davey Mack.
Hold on, there's breaking news. Oh, God, never mind. Sorry, I had ESPN on, and there was breaking news. And you know what the breaking news was?
No.
Bears trade 2026 fourth-round pick for Joe Thuney. Hey, ESPN, this is why everyone fucking hates you. You pieces of shit, you cunts, you non-sports knowing assholes. You know, real quick aside. Yesterday, I tweeted this picture of the two worst Sports Center anchors today. These guys are such douchebags. They're painfully unfunny. They try pop culture references that are really dated. They think they're the funniest guys in the room when they're two of the least funny people I've ever seen ever. They're smarmy and arrogant and love themselves, which to me is always comedy kryptonite. When you can tell, like Jimmy Fallon, you know he has an ego. You know that he's a cunt. You know he's an arrogant cunt. And that's who these two guys are. So anyway, I go on Disney Plus yesterday because I'm going to watch the Daredevil show.
Shout out Aaron Berg.
That returned. What?
Aaron Berg was in that.
That was him in the first episode?
That was Aaron Berg.
I was saying that looked just like Aaron Berg.
Yeah, congrats to our buddy Aaron Berg.
Well, there you go. It all comes full circle because there was a little guy who was muscly, and he had to help out right at the very beginning of episode 1. And I go, wow, that looks like Berg a little bit. But whoa, that's crazy. But my point being, you know how Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, they all have the banner at the top and the banner scrolls. You know, they show like what shows that they have on their thing. Okay. This one had a picture of these two douchebags, and not only are they making smug, smarmy, fucking asshole faces, there's literally people applying makeup to them on the poster. On the poster, they're doing this like radio, like poster face, like, look at me. And then they have hands. All you see is hands in the poster, putting makeup and like spraying their hair. And my one criticism, going back for on the Davey Mack Sports program, has been this is across all media. This is across society. There's way too much style over substance in society these days, on TV, on the radio, in the movies. And no one better exemplifies that than ESPN. They have the worst personalities who somehow think that they're funny and cute. For these to have your poster be literally, we're superficial assholes. If you're Sports Center and you have a banner ad at the top of your streaming service, wouldn't you have sports stars?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, so on and so forth, like a fucking, what's that called? Not montage. Collage. A collage of sports stars. Wouldn't that be how you could advertise Sports Center? Instead, you have these two douchebags who are painfully unfunny, having makeup applied to their faces while they cheekily look to the camera and go, hey, look at me. I'm an arrogant asshole. Like, Disney and ESPN are so out to lunch. It's unbelievable how they are so fucking, how they don't see themselves. They're such arrogant twats. There's no humility. There's nothing. They're the most arrogant, into themselves, narcissistic cunts on the planet. ESPN, get the fuck over yourselves and get these two douchebags, these two frat boys off my goddamn TV screen. Thank you.
Yeah. And I thought Trump got rid of those makeup wearing queers in sports.
What?
That would have been a good joke, but it didn't land. That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I just got a voice message.
I said that's why Trump I thought Trump got rid of those makeup wearing queers in all the sports because of his new mandate. No more. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, we'll go back to the radio stuff. I'm glad you made me repeat the joke that bombed twice.
Trump talk. We're not doing politics talk.
I was just making fun of the makeup wearing weirdos.
You do politics, you're getting hate from 50% of the audience. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to point out that was a joke about the makeup wearing weirdos, not about
I know.
Trump.
I wasn't really listening because I just had an important phone call and got a voice message that seems important. But I'm still here with you, Robert, and all of the dogsies. Trademark.
TM pending.
You know, I had dogsies before a certain radio host started calling his fans doggies. Just saying. I'm not trying to be Opie over here.
No,
the dogsies came before doggies by a decade.
And I think if you look into it, that guy might have a problem taking other people's things.
Oh, whoa. I said I'm not trying to cause controversy here.
Fair enough. I'm going to take a cue from the master, not lean into the controversy.
Thank you.
The other thing we hear about is as they're inviting you to Bar 9, Ron asks if one of my favorite personalities from that universe is going to be there, and that's Joe Cumia, Brother Joe, if he's going to be playing in his U2 tribute band, if they'll be at Bar 9 like the old days. And we learn Brother Joe went to Vegas to do a Vegas residency as a... What was your experience like with Brother Joe? I know he's one of the most talented musicians, perhaps outside of Sleeves, associated with the universe.
Well, I mean, I didn't have a lot, but met him certainly a few times. A handful of times at O&A events or Ron and Fez events, for that matter. And then I did actually see me and a few of my buddies went to see his U2 cover band in Jersey at the Jersey Shore. But they were excellent. Sounded great, man.
That's what I heard. And like even Melinda says she's a huge U2 fan, but their cover band's great.
Well, I mean, dude, he can really play guitar. They can really rip it up. They sound loud. They sound like U2.
That's awesome. I was just curious. He's around a lot. The other thing dynamic that comes up here is you're trying to get invited to Anthony's Super Bowl party. I guess this was before anybody had ever been out to the compound. And I was, one of the things that everybody talks about is the karaoke that would occur there and things like that. So I just wasn't sure if you ever got to see Joe do anything like that or.
Oh yeah, but usually, you're fucked, you're all drunk and everything like that. But did I see? Yeah, I mean, you see everyone sing songs. Everyone gets up there and does it. So yeah, but I mean, really, with Joe, is more about seeing him do the U2 thing. That's how. That
makes sense. He also apparently learned a song so you could sing along with him one time. Rolling. Rawhide. That's what it was.
Yeah, of course. From the TV show, but I knew it as I knew it as the Blues Brothers fan. Like
that makes sense.
That's why I was
ask how you knew it.
Yeah, I was into the Blues Brothers. Still am. Quite frankly, I love the Blues Brothers. I love John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd. I mean,
some bad news.
It's still one of the greatest. I still call it maybe the best musical in American history because it's a legit musical. You put the Blues Brothers next to that fucking La La Land, which got all the goddamn fucking nominations. Blues Brothers blows that movie away. What are you kidding? Come on. Anyway, that's how I knew that shit.
And they do the classic bit of making you sing "Rollin', Rollin', Rollin'" on air.
Rolling.
Or Rawhide.
Keep them doggies rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. Rawhide. Yeah, I love that song.
And at this point, we can kind of feel you starting to sober up a little bit. You're still playing into the drunk thing a bit, but you could tell your answers are sharper. You're more on track. You know what I mean? Like whereas before you were kind of
what a recovery time. That's the thing that I love about the movies. Like they'll show someone like be drinking in a bar, and then like 8 hours later they'll still be drunk, or the person will be completely hammered and something happens. They get one phone call and they're completely sober. Like Hollywood never gets it right. There's more of a gradual fucking thing that happens.
Low ascent. Yeah, exactly.
You know, how many times do you see a character, guy's like completely fucked up and he gets a call, he's like, Elizabeth is dead? Oh, I'll be right over there. And he just like drives his car and he's like totally fine. Like, what? Like, that's not how it works, dude.
No, and that's part of why I don't like drinking as much, because you can't just snap out of it. If you're super high and you have to get serious, you can kind of snap into it for a few minutes. I can't do that drunk, which is why I don't like getting as drunk as, you know, some of the former producers of the show.
There you go.
But one last thing to talk about before we play a little bit more audio. HTG calls in. Now, not HTG, I'm so sorry. Winnie Cooper calls in.
Jesus.
Winnie Cooper, was she friends with Claire? Like, did they know each other outside of being fans of the show?
I don't think so. I mean, bar 9, I guess. Yeah,
Okay.
bar 9. Probably bar 9 friends, pals, friendly from bar 9.
Because the reason I ask is she explains the last time you and Claire broke up, you tried to make a pass at her. Obviously, it gets played up for air that you just kind of dropped all your dead weight on her and were trying to make a move. But her point was she knew at that moment Claire was the only girl for you. Like, she was like, what happens with Dave? She goes, this is the Dave experience. He gets super drunk, and then eventually Claire takes him home. And now there's no Claire, so she was worried about you getting home.
How's he gonna get home now?
Winnie Cooper
He's gonna
seemed to
be
be
stuck at bar 9 forever, like Gilligan on that island. He's never gonna leave now.
but Winnie Cooper does seem like a good friend and is a recurring character. Have you seen her?
I haven't seen her or spoken to her in forever, literally forever. But she is great, and I'm sure she's doing great.
And just for all the fans out there, and definitely not me for my own certainty, this isn't the Winnie Cooper, right? Like from the TV shows. Okay.
This was not Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years. This was an era where we tended to discuss ourselves based on our ronfez.net message board names. So pretty much whoever you signed up for on a fucking message board, people would call you that for the next 15, 20 years of your life, including, I guess she was a Wonder Years fan, so she signed up as Winnie Cooper, and now, no one knew her name. They called her Winnie Cooper.
There is a lot of fun about that too, though, where it's like knowing the in-universe names versus.
I'll give you behind the scenes. I was calling Ron and Fez and just killing it with the comedy pyramids, but it was just Dave. I was just calling up as Dave. I had no fucking, they didn't know. They didn't know that this is the same Dave that you can rely on each and every comedy pyramid for a good line. Same Dave. I could tell. They had no recognition. And I go, I gotta have some kind of name. So I called up. This is when I was working at the Dublin house, but also working a little bit for Brookdale Radio or Monmouth Radio, I forget. Anyway, the point being, I called up Ron and Fez one day, and I tried to change my name to Didvad. Now, Didvad at gmail.com is the email.
Yeah.
DIDVOD. It's a combination of David and Dodd, but then also minus a lot of letters. Yeah, because there's a lot of letters missing. But I took David and Dodd, and remember, this is when like when the internet first happened in 95. It was like when I got my first email. So I thought Didvad sounded futuristic. I'm like, my name is Didvad. I thought that sounded futuristic. And listen, there's not one word anywhere on the planet with the word Didvad.
No.
So it's like a unique word. So I call up, have a great line for the comedy pyramid. I call up the Ron and Fez show. Billy Staples is on the line. I say, he goes, who's this? I go, I want to go by Didvad. Instant hang up.
That's good phone screening by Billy Staples.
A couple days later, I called up, and there was a different producer, and I can't remember if it was Wonder Boy or Al Dukes. I really can't. But it was another producer, not Billy. And they go, who is this? I go, I'm going by Didvad. And again, hang up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why does that make sense? Why
As a-
could I not have been? Imagine if everyone knew me as Didvod, and like I'd be like Skeletor or Voltron. People would be like that would be a completely. There's only one person on the planet who has this word for their name. So all these years later, I think it would have been fantastic. But having said that, I go to my friends at the Dublin house where I was working, and I say, I called up Ron and Fez to get on the air for Comedy Pyramids as Didvod, and they keep hanging up on me. So I need a name. And then my friends are like, well, I mean, how about like Spring Lake Dave or something? I'm like, well, Spring Lake Dave doesn't really sounds
a little pompous.
But I thought, well, you know what? I'm from East Side, Spring Lake, New Jersey. East Side being the B-side, daddy. East Side for life. This is how we roll on the East Side. This is how we party on the East Side. We go to East Side. Anyway, Spring Lake is like filled with like yuppies and rich people. So saying you're from East Side Spring Lake is, you might as well say you're from South Greenwich, Connecticut, or North Hamptons.
Yeah,
like I'm from West Side of Beverly Hills.
I was gonna say Beverly Hills.
So there was a joke in that, but that's the name that stuck. East Side Dave after that. I tried to get Didvod on the air twice, but East Side Dave came out of that.
And I get that Didvob would have been great. I think it was good phone screening if they didn't know who you were and you're using a made up word for your name. Like I could see them being like, "Oh, this guy's just fucking with us."
Why wouldn't you put the name down and then say, "Okay, what's your line?" And if the line's good, maybe you go, "Okay, he's going for some kind of Voltron thing."
Because you said it was Billy Staples and the Wonder Kid. They weren't thinking that many steps ahead. They were just like,
Boy.
phone screened.
And I'm not sure if it was Wonder Boy or Al Dukes. I know Billy was the first time I tried to get Didvod on the screen or on the show, and then it was either Wonder Boy or Al Dukes. One of those two definitely hung up on me.
Well, none of them were ever the producer you were, David. And that's what we learned, right?
Oh.
You would handle that phone call the right way.
I have friendly relationships with Al Dukes. I haven't spoken or talking to Wonder Boy or Billy Staples in years, but every once in a while with Al Dukes, we have a little text or a little back and forth.
Billy Staples sent me a friend request on Facebook about a year ago, and that's been the extent of our interactions. I'm playing it slow with him. Eventually, I'll reach out and start talking to him.
Did you accept it though?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I like Billy. Even though people would make fun of Billy and say he was dumb, he brought me some of my favorite moments of the Ron and Fez show. You know,
of course, he's
And,
part of so much good stuff.
And then almost kind of like passing the torch, handed it to you, who just took it off and took it to the next level.
You really see me and Billy Staples. You put us in the same area, and I just have to. I have to disagree.
Let me explain why. Let me defend myself a little bit. The reason
we
why
both like to drink, so is Pepper in our fucking category? Are these the party producers and then the stick in the mud producers? Because that actually makes sense. You have me, Chris Stanley, Billy on one side, Wonder Boy, Al Dukes, and Earl on the other side.
You're starting to see a little bit what I was getting at.
Fun guys versus the pussies.
A little bit.
Not Al Duke. I'm not calling Al Duke's pussy, by the way. It's just, you know what I'm saying.
No, the reason why I put you and Billy in the same camp is you're Mr. Whatever you need. Like you would step up whatever the radio show needed somebody to do. They needed somebody to shave their head for a bet. They needed somebody to wipe their someone else's check on their ass. Things like that. Like you guys were constantly willing to do whatever it took. Whereas there were guys like Wonder Boy, Al Dukes, even to some extent Earl and Pepper, who were like, no, I'm not willing to humiliate myself for the sake of content, even though that's what I'm here for.
I get you. I always put the show and the audience before myself. And to be
much simpler way of saying
sometimes that has hurt me. That's why I hope that everyone appreciates and acknowledges how much of a saint I am. Because I was asked sometimes to do things that I otherwise knew, this isn't going to be a good look for me or blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Okay, I'm the ultra team player. I'll do it. I'll contribute. Hopefully there's some thankfulness. Hopefully, like for instance, if I do some kind of bit for some large-breasted, bitter, blonde, former radio guy, like an Opie, for instance. I mean, let's just give a crazy example. Hopefully, I'll show that I'm such a team player that he'll simply give me the $500 that he owes me for a bet that I did on his show where I only participated because $500 was the reward money. And here we are 18 years later, and I still haven't gotten one fucking red cent. So I would put myself over, or I would never put myself over the audience of the show because I believe that's a selfish, narcissistic thing to do. But I also had faith that I will get rewarded for such selfless behavior, and that didn't happen either. So long-term thinking, yeah, maybe I should have just said, fuck you, I'm not doing this bit. Maybe I should have. Who knows? I'm just saying. Maybe it's something to think about.
I know, Dave, because I got to tell you, like I said, the two people I listened to the most and enjoyed the most were you and Billy, because you were willing to do whatever it took. And I think that's why you have the loyal fans you do, because you were that guy. You were willing to be like, I'm here to entertain first. And if I get to look cool in the process, great. But again, I'm going to focus on entertaining. And I know it's tough when you look back and you go, did I do this right? Should I have done that right? Especially when we're talking about an episode where you got dumped because you were willing to be whatever, talk about whatever, do whatever on air it took to be entertaining. I get that, but I got to tell you, I think you're in the right place.
Look,
and you made the right moves.
I'm not going to go into it. In fact, I want to move on. But in my opinion, I've been taken for granted in almost every radio job I've ever been to because I give everything that I have, and I give more creativity than anyone else on the show besides the hosts. And sometimes I am the host, and I will give more creativity than anyone. And again, don't take my word for it. There are awards that I have won, and there are number one ratings that actually happened. You can, say whatever the fuck it is you want about me. But the fact of the matter is I've done fucking great shit for 20 years. Awards and ratings have backed that up. I'm a selfless team player. It is disappointing and depressing sometimes looking at people who aren't nearly as talented as me, but instead because they play it safe or they're corporate and they do know how to kiss ass and suck dick, that those are the people who get advanced rather than the people with real creative spirit. That's all I'll say. Done.
And you know what I think
about that now.
You know what I think we should do? I think we should show some of that creative spirit right now as we play the last little bit of audio, and then we'll come back right after this.
By the way, the party goes on after this show tonight, 9 o'clock.
I knew it!
Yeah. You guys will be hanging out at Bar 9.
We're going to be at Bar 9 in Manhattan, 9th Avenue between 53rd and 54th Streets.
Bring it! And by the way, not 53rd and 3rd, which was that Ramon song.
He actually said the bar that we were at earlier, PJ's, he tells the cab driver, it's 53rd and 53rd, which is somewhere either, I thought, in the Atlantic Ocean or out in Montauk, out on Long Island. 53rd and 53rd. And then he was corrected that it was 53rd and 3rd.
55th.
I never well, no, he said 53rd and then corrected the himself. After we got to 55th and 3rd and realized it was a bank. And there's no drinking at a bank. Although he tried.
Sure he does.
He put his card in the ATM and put his mouth under where the cash comes out. Hoping for Jägermeister.
There were paper cups there. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to put some liquor in it.
He picked up the red phone when your card gets stuck and goes, where's my beer? You were just a belligerent banker drunk.
He's Arthur.
He was Arthur. Where's my money?
All right, we got to take a break here. We'll be right back and wrap it up. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
Back with the Ron and Fez Show on a Friday. Strange situation in the studio tonight. Our producer, Eastside Dave, he got dumped by his girl a couple days ago. He goes out this afternoon to get something to eat. Turns out Anthony from O&A and his girlfriend Melinda took Eastside Dave out and brought him back to us stinking drunk. Anthony's in the studio with us tonight.
Yeah, he had a great time. Went out to PJ's. And, wow, unbelievable the amount of booze this guy can drink.
Anthony was
can't handle.
No. If it was one of those guys that, just does shots, I'm thinking what's his name, from Dusk Till Dawn?
Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino?
No, Clooney. the character Clooney played with just the shots but completely in control the whole time. That ain't you.
You're no Clooney.
You do the shots.
Mr. Anthony, that's what them's the movies.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't make sense.
Mr.
You know what?
Anthony.
I even think you're starting to sober up and you're getting annoying.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't even think it has to do with the alcohol.
Drink that.
Really, Ronnie?
Yeah.
I love you, Ronnie.
I know.
Hey.
I know you do, buddy.
Let me come over
No, sit.
Oh, boy.
You sit.
Stay in your seat.
Producer seat. Producer seat. Yeah. Little pal. There we go. Buddies for life. There we
All
are.
right,
We're
good.
always going to be pals.
Buddies for life, me
Yeah.
and Ronnie, and me and Fezzi too, and me and Mr. Anthony.
Yeah, well,
all the
we
buddies.
broke
Yeah.
new ground today.
All the pals.
That's for sure.
And you and Earl.
No,
Oh, no.
I got problems with him.
At least for February.
Everybody's
Come on.
going out to Bar 9 after the show. What about you, Earl? You down?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Whoa! That's
Wow.
a first.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be on that.
Have a drink with me, Earl. Please, 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 please.
You were supposed to have a
Earl don't
kamikaze
drink.
last night, Earl.
I got Big Captain drink and he doesn't drink. I got a good drink for him. I'll get a good one for you.
Yeah, I had to
Burn
take
jelly?
care of some work back at the office. I couldn't make it.
All right, Mr.
Liar.
Excitement.
There's no work. You got to stop it.
You know what I call
work?
you?
It's Friday.
It's Mr. Personality over here.
Hey, Ron, his work at the office was napping and watching replays of Mike and the Mad Dog on MSG.
Then
Yes, that worked.
Fezzi, tell the story that you heard about Earl last night.
Yeah, walking away last night when I was heading out with Eastside Dave, our intern Lily was headed to her car. She was walking along with us, and her phone rang as we're walking down the sidewalk. And she goes, without even looking at her phone, she goes, "Oh, that's Earl." And I go, "How do you know it's Earl?" She said, "Earl calls me every night 15 minutes after the show ends.
It's always Earl.
Whether I'm interning that night or not."
Oh,
boy. Oh,
sounds
boy.
like girls in love.
It sounds very much like it.
Pitsy, where are you taking our drunk? Does he got to go away?
What happened?
Just trying to find Lily, Ronnie.
Oh,
Ronnie,
okay.
You can't just leave. What are you, like Sinatra on The Tonight Show? Anytime he could just get up off the couch. I got to leave, Johnny. Thanks for having me.
She'll be here in a minute.
Was great, but I'm off to catch a plane right
Yeah.
now.
Time to go.
That's what you should have did, Aunt, your first shot on the Tonight Show. Just act like you were almost too busy.
Just,
to
you
do
know,
it.
I like to hang, but
Yeah.
I got to go. You're like old school. That was always Dean Martin, all
Dean
those
Martin,
guys.
Bob
much
Hope
too
could pull
important.
that off.
They're not going to sit on a couch while some woman that shows a potato chip that looks like the president's is the next guest. They had to go. Sinatra's out. Martin out.
And I would like to guess that while somebody else is talking, you're so big, you just walk out on the Tonight Show.
Right.
Let the place go crazy. The guy who's booked for the Tonight Show
Over
has
couch.
to move down.
Right.
Like an animal, like a dog. Get off the couch. Look who's here, me.
And whoever it is, they're so much more thrilled to see
Yeah.
that person.
Oh, my God, it's Jackie Gleason. Yeah.
The great one.
Yeah.
And he actually takes a rolled up newspaper and smacks the other guest on the snout
Who would normally
to get him off the couch.
Who would normally be Tom Dreesen. Oh, I see. I got to move down away.
Oh, Gleason's here. I
Yeah.
understand how sweet it is. Wow, the place goes wild.
I know. You just had that catchphrase.
That's a good idea.
Boy, I
Try it
second
next
your
time.
opinions.
Oh,
Oh, good.
thank you, drunkie.
Now they're validated.
yeah,
Ronnie.
thank you, drunk.
You're looking great, Ron.
Yeah.
You're looking great.
Where you sleeping tonight, do you know?
Allow me to hug you, but that's
No.
fine. I'm going to be sleeping in my car in Jersey, right outside someone's
Car.
house.
Do you know
Right
how
outside-
cold it is?
Yeah.
You could
You're gonna die
freeze to
tonight.
death.
I put in a full tank of gas.
Uh-huh.
I keep my car on. Heat.
You know what works
And a hose.
great?
Diet
Yeah,
fumes.
thank you. Fez had me all the way.
Of course he does.
Me and Fez was side by side on that one.
Well, Fez has got that that skill. If he sees a joke being set up, he comes by and steals. God forbid he should take the time to build it. But he, you know, and suddenly he's letting you build the pyramid, and then he comes running up with the Fez flag.
Pulls out of the pipe into the window.
With that triangle piece at the top.
And then you saw, house. He just dives over the top.
Yeah, here's what you do, Dave. Hose in the window from the exhaust pipe. Correct. It's like
Yes.
it's not a game show, Fez.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Do your own setups, Watley. It's not fair. Now, look, Melinda's going to be like this. Leave him alone.
Oh, she'll
Leave
start
that
crying.
man alone.
No,
He's
only
been
when
through
you're
so much.
I've had to endure what I've had to endure from the Fezzy Ronnie relationship here. If Ronnie gives Fez a little flack and we sit home and listen,
right?
My girlfriend just loses it. And
It's
she'll
not
start
right.
crying. Fez is crying. My girl's crying.
I have to stick up for myself again.
Yes.
I understand.
Here it is. No,
Not
you.
bad.
No, you effing don't.
Ooh.
Here is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Ron and Fez show. I don't care if it's on XM or FM. It makes me emote.
You emote.
I
Oh.
emote. And
Okay.
sometimes it's hysterical laughter, at which, while I'm here, I push the microphone away so I don't overpower with my laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Or I cry hysterically at home and go, why are they doing this to Fez? You know, they deserve it.
Occasionally, we like to stop the show and go, Fez, let's examine your life.
And it's never good.
Yeah.
To which I say, can't Fez let me at his house? Because I just want to make him happy.
Fez is not a happy guy. He's a sad guy, and sometimes it's good to talk about that.
I know
And
that.
I want you to look at him, Dave, because this could
Okay.
be you in the future,
Yeah.
unless you get yourself straightened out now.
The future.
Dave isn't nearly as lovable as Fez. I'm sorry, Dave, but Fez, you're so much more lovable.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
I said we have
Once again, the
actually
female wanted to have Fez live in one of the wings of the house.
We have a
She goes,
total
we could have
wing."
Fezzy come over and stay here and just like appreciate him.
We have a twin, a queen, or a king.
Well, that's him. Hello.
We're covered.
Yeah. I can be as lovable as Fez.
No, you couldn't.
I
What?
could.
No.
You be
Here-
as, what is Fez? Level?
It's a Fezatorial.
All right.
All right.
Why do the arms like that? Like
Hey,
you're
it's a
crippled?
Fezatorial.
I have human-sized arms. Why are you doing the T-Rex
Hey, there's
impression?
a guy named Bobo, and this
All right.
and that. It's the same.
But Melinda, here's what you need to understand about Fez.
Yes, hon.
He wants to be alone because he's incapable of giving or accepting love.
Fezzy, what did
Something
I email
happened.
you? I emailed you something.
Right.
About us. That I emailed.
What was it? Do you remember, Fez?
I'm trying to remember. I know because you emailed me a few things.
Yes.
Did you shut it down like most of the things that hurt you?
It didn't hurt. I
Just
emailed him.
click.
Tried to
Yeah.
block it out.
Yeah.
Check, delete.
Delete from my mind.
Yeah. All Fez remembers from his childhood is seeing a large pair of boots connected to a man and then later eating a lot of ice cream. Something happened. Something happened in there.
And it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah.
Not even with the ice cream.
Something happened in the time that you blacked out. And if we could get to that, then he would be able to relate.
That's where all the answers are.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a nasty place for some answers.
Sure.
I don't think. Something's best left hidden in.
Sure.
Probably.
But even now, Fez, that you seem like because things got pointed your way for a while, you got a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. Unnerving.
Well, let's not do that because I want to go to Bar 9 and maybe, hang out with you.
I have a drink for
Right.
you, Fazzy.
Oh, thank you.
Why don't you have one now? Fez?
All right, I'll take one now.
And maybe that'll bring back the memories.
Of the ice cream.
Maybe we hypnotize them and just try to go through step by step all the horror stories we'd hear.
Can I suggest? Yeah. All right. Club soda. For,
Oh, no, I'm
for
fine.
Ronnie.
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
A beer for Fez,
Mhm.
and then
I thought you were suggesting Club Soda Kenny.
Hey,
Yes.
easy.
Hey, he's a nice
Wow.
guy. He's very loving.
He's very dominating. I don't know what you want to do with him.
Whatever you're into.
Sure.
But I know I had a dream about Fezzy's apartment and Fezzy's life.
All right, go ahead.
It's probably very accurate.
It was, which was crazy.
Was it horrible?
No,
Was
I had,
Cherry there talking?
Why would it be horrible?
I'm freaking vibrating it. Stop texting me.
Dad, don't answer him.
Good morning,
Not.
Globey.
Look, this was my dream.
Right.
I had a dream
Mm-hmm.
that I had my kitchen cleaned so well that all I could think of was, oh my God, would Fezzy love the pristine condition of my kitchen? So I must bake him a cake. And Baby, if you remember last time I tried to make you cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't work out.
But that's very difficult to do because usually it burns.
Blunt.
The thing is, the thing is, get him a cake because Fez doesn't eat pie. I know that for a fact. I've tried many times to introduce. Oh, no worry, no one heard that. I'm sure of that.
I made a cake for Fez in my dream.
Right.
I took it to his house, and I swear I described his apartment. And when he emailed me back, he said, "Holy crap!"
She freaked me out because she described my apartment so well. Right down to my tablecloth.
I'm psycho.
And the lighting.
Well, it's
Psychic.
easy. She probably watched an episode of The Honeymooners and thought the same thing. That one room.
She described it right down to the missing children.
I don't have the rusty sink just attached to the living room wall.
It is very barren, though.
Is it?
Your apartment. That's exactly what Anthony said.
All I
There's
know-
a couch, a television.
A bag of wine.
Well, you're living in the Laverne and Shirley basement apartment. What are you talking
At
about?
least I have posters on the wall.
Great.
It's just
Farrah Fawcett. What kind of posters do you have?
fine. Whatever. This is about
Cheryl
Fez and
Teagues.
Melinda. It's about not me.
Sure. It's not about you, Drunky.
Let's go into the future. Let's go. Let's
All right.
do this.
It's his apartment. Is really It's a throwback here that you have.
Throwback. Run.
I went over there. He goes, "Let me put on some music." He takes out an album. And the next song that starts being played is "Let Her In" by Vinnie Barbarino. See, I didn't even know if I was going to be. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to spit it out.
Oh no!
You got it.
Let her in.
I'm gonna let her in. Oh, what a song! Yeah,
All
here
right.
it is.
Here we go.
Here's the Dave's Apartment Experience.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Run and be. All right,
there
fine.
it is. Now we were down there. Everything's left over from the 70s down there.
Yeah, right. Well, I love Star Wars. I love Jaws. I love Vinny. Whatever. I love Connor.
All right, he's in a basement apartment in Queens. Last summer, he had no AC. He used to come to work looking like a lobster. I can't sleep. I cannot sleep.
I'm sweating.
But everyone else had AC, just
Oh,
not
yeah. Just not him.
No, it was a weird, freakish thing of 2 blocks of Astoria, Queens. Couldn't
No,
have.
even before. You didn't own an AC all summer.
Oh, yeah, right.
When he plugged in his AC is when the blackout hit Queens.
Yeah. No, I had just a little fan, Mr. C.
And I wonder
Mr.
why your
Anthony.
chick left you.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just too hot.
Because that's all that matters to me is dancing down at the disco.
Dance down the
That's
disco,
great.
baby.
Oh, and then his mom's saying, "Oh, I'm praying that your brother calls." That's that's what I'm doing right now. I'm praying that
He'll go back to the church. He'll go back.
He'll go back.
Don't hit the
What did
hair.
you say to him?
Don't hit the hair. I work on the hair all the time. And,
What are you doing?
And you hit it.
What are you doing? I don't understand.
What's that?
What is that?
Sinus fever.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
Well, all right.
You
The chick
didn't
that we
call me, Tony. That's what I picture him on the phone to me.
The chick
You
that-
didn't call me.
The chick that we were watching dress is all the way up into her prom gown now. That's how far along
Wow.
this went while we were on the air.
She's got a big night ahead of her.
She is taking forever to get dressed.
All right, who's next to her?
Are there 2 girls in there
Oh,
now?
it's a naked guy. Get out. Turn around.
Oh, no.
Don't look.
Well, hello.
No, no homo. Youth.
There is actually a naked guy who's in that apartment every single night.
Oh, you noticed
I've
that?
I'm sure you do.
I'm
she a
sitting
brunette?
here looking at the thing, and I don't know what's going on. It's Rowdy Piper time, but
It's what?
Rowdy Piper time. Everybody wants to talk about Adrian.
You don't even know what you're saying.
All right.
All right, hold on. Lynn's got a question for you. Go ahead, Lynn. You're
I
on
was
first.
just wondering, how old are you? Would you have posters on the wall?
I put them in frames.
What kind of
Lenny.
posters you got up there? I know you got the
Empire
one.
Strikes Back.
I know you got that 3D poster that you got to stare at every morning when you wake up.
It's to 3 dolphins swimming.
Every morning. I wonder what this is. Same as yesterday.
The felt painting of
What-
the 3 dogs playing poker.
Seriously, what do you have there? Poster Tony Reale. Who else?
I don't have poster of Tony Reale.
Yeah.
I have a poster of Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm.
I have a poster of what? I have a poster of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I have a poster of Empire Strikes Back.
You're not helping your case, Dave.
And I have a final poster of a little film. And yeah, blast me for this. Miller's Crossing. Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my God, I can't believe you've gotten laid.
Miller's Crossing?
It's the best, one of the best movies ever.
Is that what Steve Baldwin? What's Miller's Crossing?
That's it, I'm out. Right, bye.
Oh, now you're feeling
Now you upset him over Miller's Crossing.
Yeah.
What's Miller's Crossing?
Stephen Baldwin.
It's the Coen Brothers film.
Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
It's. By the way, let's just talk turkey right now.
All right.
It wasn't Mickey Rourke and Stephen Baldwin. You swear?
You hungry, Ronnie?
I am
I'm starving.
Talking turkey.
Talking turkey.
White
Any turkey
meat.
clubs over there, Earl?
No, we don't.
I
have
don't
any
want to
turkey.
be silly at this point.
Yeah.
All right, I want to
Too
talk
Be
about the
serious.
real thing.
Go ahead.
And obviously, everyone knows Godfather 1 and Godfather 2 are the best. But the third best mafia movie or like organized crime movie of all time,
Mafia with Jay Moore?
Miller's Crossing.
It couldn't be
Miller's
Goodfellas?
No, Anthony.
Dave,
Miller's Crossing.
Dave.
And Mr. Anthony, I have
Yes,
so
sir.
much respect for you and so much love.
And I feel now I've lost some by
Yeah.
saying Goodfellas is one of the best mob movies.
All right, let me change my answer then.
Okay. So it's
All right,
five.
fine. Miller's Crossing is number 4.
All right.
After Goodfellas, number
Don't
3.
count them. Just say top 5
And
Miller
Casino.
Crosses in there.
You don't put Casino ahead of Miller's Crossing?
All right, fine. Miller's Crossing after that, too.
All right.
But after that, Miller's
Top 10.
Crossing
Top 10.
is definitely in there after those 3
But
movies.
why do you have posters? You're an adult now.
Yeah.
Because, Ronnie, it's so awesome. Gabriel Byrne with John Turturro in the woods. There's a gun. Like,
But are you shocked now that your girlfriend left you?
Was
Great
someone going,
synopsis.
That's great.
You really accurately depicted that movie for me.
know what she did do, though, Ronnie?
What's that?
And on my windowsill, I have all these little action figures. Like, I have South Park
All right,
action
you're getting this.
figures.
White people
Earl's here.
are so scared of black people.
I thought I heard
I apologize, Earl.
Action
Thank you,
figures.
Oh.
Figures.
Yeah.
Figures.
That would be different.
South Park and Star Wars, Ronnie.
Those aren't action figures. These are dolls.
Listen, and I have starting lineup: Don Mattingly and Joe DiMaggio, and I have them all on the windowsill. When she left, she slapped them down.
She knocked your toys down.
She knocked my toys down.
She knew what was important to you and went right for him.
What are you trying to prove?
She hit Donnie Baseball.
oh my God, I love West Side.
Good.
West Side, forget East Side. You can be my girlfriend.
She knew what hurt. She knew how to hurt you.
You want to go for it? Let's go for it now.
Yeah.
Knocking down action
Coming down
figures.
there at 11:30 tonight. Real game's on now. Well, not 11:30. I'm going out with Myth Anthony, Myth Ronnie, Myth Feather. But after that,
Where did this accent
Wow, I'm
from?
noticing a
tonight,
strange accent.
I am going to come down there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you who's boss. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow, so I didn't know she knocked your toys over.
Knocked them all over.
Now it is war.
What did you do when she did that?
Pulled her Barbie heads off.
Come back.
The only way you retaliate.
Cried.
Back. Did you start crying?
You broke my C-3PO. Oh, look.
C-3PO
Why
was-
don't you
was
lay
there.
on your back
Was
and
there,
just
of
start
course it
kicking
was.
at her?
Shut down the garbage dispenser, C-3PO. What are you doing?
At first, I said that this is an authentic 1980 model R2-D2 action figure.
Yeah, women
that
love
had
that.
the scope and everything.
I'd have
And
burned
you
it.
knocked it down. It was in mint condition before you knocked it down.
Uh-huh.
So you owe me $75 if you're going to
Sure.
storm out on me.
A whole
Thanks,
75?
Or West Side.
Well,
West
now
Side.
I understand that it makes
Yeah.
total
Doesn't
sense.
matter
Yeah,
anymore.
sure.
So the whole point is East Side Rules.
That's the point of this?
That was it.
East Side rules.
And
This is
West
like-
Side, what?
This is like a movie that you sit through and then the credits start rolling and you go, what? The credits? What happened?
That's the last M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah. What the what?
The drunk in the water.
Don't
You
watch
a
Prime.
movie. When you watch a movie and you're sitting through it and kind of getting into it, and then you go, if those credits start rolling, I am going to be pissed. And the screen turns black, and you go, this better be a scene change. And then cast. What? Did you run out of film? That's what this show has been with Dave.
All right.
Pointless.
My action figures.
All right,
But
you're
you
drunk.
can't knock over me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be coming down there to New Jersey.
Bar 9, man.
Shots, Dave?
After Bar 9.
Bar 9
Dave,
first.
shots?
Yeah.
After
Jaeger?
Bar 9, after shots.
We're heading out to
drink
Bar
shot?
9 as soon as the show wraps up here. It is on 9th Avenue between 53rd and 54th Street. Also want to thank 1-800-Flowers.com for helping out Eastside Dave with his love problems.
That's great.
Check it out online. They got gifts starting at just $19.99 and flowers. You can visit 1-800-Flowers.com. Click on the radio icon for that special deal. And check it out with 1-800-Flowers.com, your florist of choice.
Thank you, 1-800-Flowers.
All right.
Appreciate it.
That'll fix you up.
Aunt Melinda, thanks for stopping by
Not
tonight.
a problem. Thanks for having us. Had a
Take-
great
Love
time.
you.
Getting our producer nice and drunk.
You're welcome.
Do our best.
We're off to Bar 9, I
Yep.
guess.
Yep.
See you guys over there.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
And we are back. And I got to tell you, Dave, we did say this was your first time being really hammered on air as a producer. And as far as like experiences of being drunk on air goes, not that humiliating for you. You know what I mean? Like they didn't make you, yes, you were the joke. Yes, you were the drunk guy, but you were more entertaining than you were the butt of the joke. You were making the jokes, if that makes any sense.
Okay, well, fair enough. I got nothing to add to that. That's a Bobby T observation.
Well, you know me. That's what I'm good at. Just making observations and not doing anything to contribute to the conversation.
No, I mean, I have no comment thank you. And anything else?
One of my favorite insights that happened here is at one point you go, who you love, who you want to invite over to your Super Bowl party, and you list everybody but Opie. And Anthony goes, oh, poor Opie. To which Melinda goes, well, he has E-Rock. And just the irony of those words made me laugh so hard.
Well, there it is. I always knew there probably was something wrong with that fucking guy.
Yep. But what we learned is that, yes, you're drunk. You're not going to go. You're going to go to Bar 9. What would your takeaway be as, like I said, you're fresh to the Ron and Fez show. This is your first time being drunk and being the drunk producer on air. Did you have any takeaways? Did you learn anything from this experience?
No, I mean, I learned that the most important thing is accomplish your job as a producer. So if the job was, hey, I can go and get lit, but bring back Anthony, then that was the goal. So I was going to party and get lit and then definitely bring back Anthony. As long as I did that, everything was going to be just fine. And so once I did that, I knew I was A-okay. I also learned that, yeah, if you want to keep the real insanity, if someone's been drinking, make sure there's probably a 6-pack back at the studio. You know,
at one point you do mime for a beer and they call you out for that, but I
could have used a Guinness or two at the studio. So let's, don't just make the person, if they're fucking drinking, you just make them stop drinking cold turkey, then it's like instant hangover time.
Yeah, you kind of almost, not that we hear this, but having experienced it myself, there's a moment where you would have stopped being fun on air. Like you obviously would have tried your hardest, but you're just hungover, you're sobering up, like it's miserable.
It sucks. So if you're going to encourage someone to go out and drink before the show, make sure that they have. It's the same thing that I had that we did one time on Eastside Dave show where Roy was smoking. He decided someone offered him a big, huge, fat joint or a big blunt, and I said, "This is before the show," and I go, I wouldn't smoke so much, bud, because 45 minutes, 50 minutes from now, when you've been without marijuana, you'll get very irritable and sometimes tired. These are the effects. Literally 45 minutes went by, and I said something that it had nothing to do with Roy's family, like it was a generic, like Roy's family is like the Manson family, and he got furious at me.
I remember watching
in
this.
real life, furious and pissed. But then after the show, he recognized it himself. He's like, hey, David, I think you were right. Like 45, 50 minutes in the show, I really wanted to kill you. And I'm like, yeah, that's marijuana. I'm like, I wouldn't even have minded if you kept smoking weed on the show. Not to be cool, like, oh, we're the cool pot smoking show. But it's like if you start then you might as well hit the joint every once in a while for the remainder of the show. Otherwise, you might get tired and irritable. That's the point.
And that's one of the things you taught me when I would do my How Could You Forget shows, where we would make people smoke weed, is basically every 30 minutes, you need to make sure they're re-smoking weed or they're going to lose their fun edge. It's going to become irritable and miserable.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I would go for weed. I'd go I'd go shorter than that. I'd go like 15 minutes. I mean, 10 minutes.
Yeah, but so that's that lesson learned. We learned that you're a big fan of Anthony. You want to become better friends with him, and I think it's kind of funny that we learned that Anthony initially was trepidatious about you. You know, you're the big redheaded guy. He didn't know who you were, the new guy on the show, and then he took you out. He enjoyed you, and if you flash forward, 5 years, he's signing you to be the number 2 show on his network, essentially.
Oh, well, I mean, this is 2007, so 9 years. 2016.
But just
was when Eastside Dave show went to Compound. We basically, it was Davey Mac Sports Program, award-winning podcast that we morphed, bastardized into the Eastside Dave show, which now we've morphed and bastardized into the Davey Mac Sports Program once again, all 15 years riding high, despite what some cunt on the fucking or like Ron Fez Reddit. The people who I found to be some of the most clueless, they don't know anything about anything. They have so many opinions and such insight, and it's always wrong, like 100% of the time.
The best part is going to be when you figure out who's behind the name you hate on Reddit and realize it's me, just throwing out random conspiracy theories on that board.
Like, I hate to say it, conspiracy, like message boards and chat rooms dedicated to radio shows is fucking pathetic. I'm sorry. I was a fan of Ron Fez, and I joined ronfez.net, but I didn't spend my entire life posting messages because I'm like, what is the point? What is the point of all of this fucking shit? I'm sorry. Message boards, Reddit, they all just kind of suck and usually are inhabited by people who were never was. If you're on Reddit, I'm not talking about you. If you're a fan of mine, especially who's defending me or this or that, this ain't about you. This is about the fucking negative dorks online that in 2025, people are over negative posters and negative Redditors and negative tweeters and all that. People are over it. It's just, you're not original by being a salty dork anymore. And right now, I might sound like a salty dork, but I'm doing it vocally. This is a performance. I'm not just going hiding behind an avatar going, it's so fucking lame.
You're not making a fake name, fake avatar, and commenting on posts about your rival like a big-titted blonde bitch we've been talking about all episode.
Life's been difficult for me lately. I'm not going to lie. So when I see one of these little fucking messages, even though I get 100 positive messages, the one negative message obviously is sometimes impacts me. I'll say this. These days, 2025, I really am good at ignoring 99% of the bullshit. But when I saw that guy's comments, it was like, his YouTube videos get 150 views. I'm like, it's, do you know what our podcast get, asshole? Because it's a podcast.
Well, I think this was a great podcast.
I do too.
I did think one thing that I think happened with the message boards in particular, if you look at any of the Reddits or things like that dedicated to the shows now, it's not fans anymore. Like it used to be, people would tune in, talk about the show. People
who are they?
It's people who hate whatever the product is. Like if it started with the Opie and Anthony subreddit where they hated Opie and Anthony, and it became, now if you look at the Ron and Fez subreddit, mostly it's people bitching about the current shit. Like it's not fans anymore. It's people who miss the old days.
I can only say this: if you're someone who goes to Reddit and all you do is do negative interactions, you're a brain dead fucking asshole. Because again, forget about what your opinion is, this or that. Everyone does it now. Everyone complains. Everyone bitches. Everyone moans. That's the part that I have a problem with, believe it or not. It's not about bitching or moaning. I'm actually doing it right now. But it's about the originality factor. It's about honesty, enthusiasm, intensity. That's what it's about. If you have real points to make, you fucking make them. Go ahead. But just to be a fucking Monday morning quarterback in today's day and age, go online and bitch about everything, makes you a stooge, an unoriginal, uncreative stooge who has no unique personality properties whatsoever. You're like everyone else. Everyone. You're an uncreative stooge. Let's end on a positive note, please.
Yeah, let's do something happy. What I like to think is they do make a joke. Ron says, "Are you going to get married on Anthony and Opie's show?" And again, just impeccable foreshadowing to what's about to come in the world of Eastside Dave. And right, like, I mean, he brought up North Carolina. He brought up getting married on air. It's almost like they knew what was going to happen with you before it actually happened. And what I like is this is a moment. If you didn't listen to the Ron and Fez show at the time, right? If you go back in history like I did, and you have to catch up on some of the old shows and things like that, and you don't pay attention to the dates, this sounds like entertaining Eastside Dave. This sounds like the same guy who's been there, you know, if you listen at the end of your tenure in Ron and Fez versus then, or even now. Like, it sounds like the same guy. And as much as it was foreshadowing what was going to happen with your radio career, it was foreshadowing who you were going to be. This entertaining element, the guy who's willing to do whatever it takes, whether it's bare his heart, whether it's sing songs, whether it's quote movies and do impressions.
All right. Now I'm uncomfortable with the amount of fucking praise you're giving me. It was going on. It's too overboard. It's too overboard sometimes. It was going on and on and on and on and on. Yes, your praise of me actually is sickening to me. I can take praise in 3-second maximum. Hey,
well,
you're doing a good job. How long did that take? You're doing a good job. That's all I want. You're doing a good job, Dave. That's all. Hey, Dave, I really dig your shit. That's all I want. I don't want some fucking bullshit Robert Tempero DVD commentary my whole life and existence.
You know who you're sounding like? That negative Redditor who always says I'm on your dick. That's who you sound like right now, Dave.
Well,
take a compliment and be an adult.
Blast everybody. Hey, no. Listen, again, you see my lips moving. You shut up. You're today here. The microphone keeps coming up. So I just keep talking and talking so that you put that microphone down. Every time that microphone, go ahead, put it up. Every time that microphone, then I start talking even faster. See? And then the other thing about Earl is Earl's a son of a bitch too. Your fucking microphone, just, God damn it.
I like to stay ready. You know me.
Well, that's fair. Can we get you a stand?
Yeah.
So it's always at your mouth, so I'm not fucking seeing this the whole fucking time. I am going to go to Acme after this, and I am looking for a fight. I am looking for one of these bitchy old cashiers who always tells me, the other day, yet again, I buy my sweet and sour chicken that they fucking think, and the goddamn thing comes up as $17.99. I go, listen, I know we have some sort of egg shortage, but this is chicken. These are the grown-ups here. This shit's always been $7.99, not $17.99. Fucking old bitch keeps fucking arguing with me. I tell her, call the manager. The manager goes, there's no way this is $17.99. And they do a price check. Some asshole keeps fucking mislabeling the food at Acme, putting insane prices over everything.
That sounds actually like
I'm going to go to Acme. I swear to God, I hope she's there. I feel like mixing it up, causing a scene, and getting fucking 8 Wall Township, New Jersey police cars called to the Acme on Route 35.
Well, if you want to hear what happens with Dave's fallout at Acme.
If you want to see what happens, be at the Acme in Wall Township on Route 35 in the next half an hour. I'm going to fucking cause some goddamn shit. This is going to be like Dog Day afternoon, man. I'm going to fucking take that goddamn entire Acme over. I'm going to take the whole place hostage.
John Q, meet Davey M. On that note, if you want to hear the recap of what happens, you can check out the Davey Mac Sports program, which we do every Sunday. What else you got over there, Dave, on your Eastside Dave TV YouTube channel?
Check out the Yaddle Channel Star Wars show. Andor's coming back in April, so we'll be giving post-show reviews about that. But we also released an emergency episode due to the news that Kathleen Kennedy is resigning. Eastside Davidson Wrestling Show, Davey Mac Sports Program, and then we have just a ton of phenomenal playlists, wrestling playlist, comedy playlist, all kind of fun playlists where I demonstrate my true blue creativity. Go check out all those playlists. There's so much shit for you to, Eastside Dave TV on YouTube. That's the shit, man. There's thousands of hours of entertaining shit on that. So make sure you're subscribed. Thank you.
Definitely check that out. If you want to see me do some comedy, I'll be in Detroit at the Independent March 28th. I'm in Wrightsville, PA or something next weekend. Check out my Instagram. I post all the shows there. That's at Bobby Tamburo. It's on Twitter too. Same thing. Dave, wonderful. I think this was a lovely episode.
This was a fantastic episode. I was very happy to look back on this episode because I remember this being a very, very fun time. Crazy, yes. Filled with a little bit of controversy, indeed. But I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun and great times there. I mean, these are this is the difference between 57th, which is properly XM, and Sirius, which is, 49th Street. The 57th Street studio truly was Animal House. That's probably why they shut it down.
Yeah. It seems like, unfortunately.
If it sounded like it had that vibe in those golden years of O&A and Ron and Fez, it's because it really was that place. And this is that era where we had a gang. It was almost like just a giant gang of people who would fight sometimes amongst ourselves, but overall we were still a gang. And great era.
Truly the best. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was a lovely time. It was a lovely time discussing it. And on that note, we'll see you next time. Good evening, radio fans.
See ya!